toss and have elected to receive. And they will send back Stump Mitchell, who leads the NFC, averaging over 24 yards a return. And he will be flanked by Willard Harrell and Danny Pittman. So the Redskins have won 5 straight, and they also have won 5 in a row against the Cardinals. They have dominated the recent series against this team, but this is St. Louis's best chance in 7 years. And we're ready to go in a big NFC East game, and the kickoff is fielded by Pittman at the 5-yard line. Pittman down the sideline, and Danny Pittman rides it out almost to midfield. That's a way to get the crowd going. Hayes, the kicker, drove Pittman out of bounds. What a return.
And you talk about field position, that's exactly what the doctor ordered. And the great thing about Pittman, he was very decisive. He caught the ball on the right side and didn't hesitate, went right down the sideline between the hash marks and the numbers, went right down the sideline, made a good inside move, back outside, was finally knocked out of bounds by the kicker, Jeff Hayes. But it's a great return for the St. Louis Cardinals.
And 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. The quarterback is Neil Lomax. Will run down the offensive unit after this play. Otis Anderson is the lone setback. And Anderson carries on 1st down, and Anderson gets into Redskin territory to the 45-yard line. And a good gain on 1st down. The offense for the Cardinals, Lomax. His chief guns are Anderson and Roy Green, but watch for Pat Tilley. The offensive line, they have been healthy and intact. Part of their success, Doug Marsh is the tight end.
One thing is very obvious, they're going to run away from Butts. Dave Butts, number 65, as much as they possibly can. He's an all-pro tackle. He's already made all-pro. They're not going to try to enhance his reputation by running at him too much this afternoon.
2nd down and 3. Danny Pittman has come in the game at wide receiver. And Lomax has a lot of time. Watch out. He's being chased. Gets rid of it and completes the pass to Anderson. Anderson has a 1st down for the Cardinals at the Redskin 41. Vernon Dean makes the tackle. The defense for the Washington Redskins. Tom Beasley replaces Dexter Manley to start. Mann, Butts, and Grant, they have been outstanding up front for the Redskins. Kaufman, Olkowitz, and Monty Coleman started out. We'll be seeing a lot of Rich Malott, however. And in the secondary, Ken Coffey starts at strong safety. Darrell Green and Vernon Dean the corners. Curtis Jordan the free safety.
One thing is going to be very important for the Washington Redskins. They must be aware, always be alert, where Roy Green is, number 81, because he's their lightning receiver and he's their big play guy.
Roy Green is in there. 3 wide receivers. Danny Pittman and Pat Tilley join him, and Otis Anderson gets inside the 40-yard line, a gain of about 3 yards. Darrell Grant makes the tackle. So you're looking at Otis Anderson, leading rusher and 11th ranked in the conference. And despite the fact, Hank, that he's missed 2 games, he's on his way to another 1,000-yard season.
Well, he's one of the great backs in the National Football League. He's big and he's strong and he's got the speed, he's got the endurance, and he's got excellent hands, good receiving ability. He's got it all.
Rich Malott is in the game at linebacker. Olkowitz comes out. 2nd down and 8. Lomax back to throw. He's going up on top for Roy Green, and Green is there. Touchdown! You said it. The Cardinals have to go on top and go on top early.
That's a read pattern. Roy Green. I just talked about Green. He has an option to run a variety of patterns, 3 patterns, but they double covered him, and he ran right between the 2 defensive backs, Darrell Green and also Curtis Jordan, with Coleman trying to catch from the backside, but he split the 2 of them and got the ball in there for the touchdown. Really a great throw by Neil Lomax.
And Neil O'Donohue will try to add the 7th point. High snap. Benny Perrin holding, but the kick is good. 2.5 minutes into this opening quarter. They clicked again. Lomax to Roy Green, the 7th touchdown reception of the year for Green. 38 yards. 7-0. The Cardinals lead. Another look at it.
There he is. He's off in the wingback position. Look at Coleman trying to cover down below, but he's double covered from the outside by Green and also the safety man, Curtis Jordan. He gets the ball right between both of them, and he makes the touchdown catch. A great play by Roy Green, Mr. Lightning, number 81.
And it was Danny Pittman's kick return that really set it up for the Cardinals.
For 1985, Plymouth engineers the new 550 Reliant K, the Reliant Super K. Matching the best six-passenger car value. Backed with 550 protection. Aerodynamically redesigned to be more efficient. We made the best better. 550 Reliant, the Super K. Match it if you can. Plymouth, best built, best backed American cars.
Steel is the best of both worlds. American know-how and world-class technology working together to make us the best steel company in America.
The best of both worlds is working for you at the new National Steel.
The Cardinals' big play combination, Lomax to Green, strikes in a hurry, and St. Louis is up 7-0 here, putting the Redskins in an early hole. And as O'Donohue gets set to kick off. Keep in mind what Hank said at the top, and that is the teams that have had success against Washington this year, as Nelms gets ready to receive, have struck early.
That's very, very important. You know, just to throw the ball and not throw it successfully and not be productive doesn't mean a thing. You have to throw it efficiently, and that's exactly what they did on that long pass to Roy Green.
This crowd is psyched. A short kick by O'Donohue, not a good kickoff, and Mike Nelms at the 9-yard line runs it back and is upended at the 20-yard line. John Good made the play. Let's set the offense for the Washington Redskins. Joe Theismann has John Riggins. Art Monk's having a terrific year. Calvin Muhammad is starting. Charlie Brown is still out. Two tight ends for the Skins. The Hogs up front. And they're going to play a big role in the Redskin running attack, as Hank talked about John Riggins at the outset. 1st and 10, the ball is the 22-yard line. In motion goes the motion man, Rick Walker. Art Monk now coming this way. Riggins. Maybe a yard, and that's all. E.J. Jr. was there to make the play. The Cardinals defensively, they have not gotten the pass rush from Baker and Greer that they've gotten in the past. Duda starts in place of the veteran Grooms. The linebackers, watch E.J. Jr. He was in on that last play. Kurt Alleman doing a solid run defense job in the middle. And the secondary, Lee Nelson starts for Leonard Smith at strong safety. 2nd and 9 at the 23. Theismann goes again to Riggins. Riggins doesn't get much more, brings it out to the 25. John Riggins, of course, went over 10,000 yards last week for a career. Junior again makes the tackle on the big back.
They ran a counter play, and they like that very much. A counter meaning that he takes a step in one direction. In this case, steps to the left, then goes to the right. The left guard, Russ Grimm, and also Joe Jacoby, the left tackle, pull in the play. But the St. Louis Cardinal defense reacted very, very well and stopped the play.
And, of course, when you stop the run, you stop Riggins, you force him out of the ball game. 3 wide receivers now. Theismann is going up on top for Calvin Muhammad, who makes the catch. It is out of bounds. Calvin Muhammad was out of bounds as Theismann was going deep.
And Jeff Griffin, number 35, was the cover man on the play, and he was licked badly. And he's very lucky that he threw the ball on the outside and out of the field of play. It had been a great play in Canada, but not here.
Well, it's getting to feel like Canada weather. It's getting a little cool. Jeff Hayes will be punting from the 10, and Stump Mitchell, who's one of the ranking punt returners in the NFL, will be at the 40-yard line.
And you talk about a couple of double lightning guys. You talk about Muhammad and also Art Monk. They're exciting.
The Redskins punt return coverage is the best in the NFL. Good kick. Here's Mitchell at the 32, and he goes nowhere. And now you see why the Redskins rank at the top of the heap. That was a 43-yard punt, and Mitchell only got 2 yards. We'll be back to Busch Stadium in a moment.
Chrysler creates more laser power because the competition is always on our tail, and we intend to keep them there. Even Nissan 300ZX. We boosted turbo power. 0 to 50, Laser XE is faster than ZX. In the slalom, Laser wins again. And Laser XE has advanced electronics, Mark Cross leather available, and the Chrysler protection plan. Laser XE. The competition is good. We have to be better. Chrysler, the best built, best backed American cars.
These are Texas Steer boots from Kmart. One of the best-selling leather boots in America. Good-fitting boots that have it all. Lasting full-grain leather uppers, insulated to well below zero. Tempered steel shank for extra support. Padded collar for comfort. Oil-resistant outer sole. And Goodyear welt construction. Now on sale for just $25. Texas Steer. Branded with value. Only at Kmart.
Kmart, we've got it and we've got it good.
Well, the last time these teams battled for first place in the division was back in 1975. And here was the situation in a dramatic game. 25 seconds to go. The Redskins were leading by 7 points. Don Coryell was the head coach of the St. Louis Cardinals at that time. Jim Hart is the quarterback. Now, here's the play. Cardinals are looking to tie the game to send it into overtime. Hart spots Mel Gray. Is it a touchdown or not? He was in the end zone. The Redskins say no. George Allen anxiously awaits the decision. And the officials huddle right at the goal line. A big moment in Cardinal football history. Then they say it is a touchdown. And Don Coryell and the Cardinals are elated. Jim Bakken kicks the field goal in overtime, and St. Louis goes on to win the NFC East with an 11-3 record. And there is Jim Hanifin on the right, Joe Gibbs on the left. Hanifin was the offensive line coach of the Cardinals then, and Joe Gibbs the backfield coach. So the history of this rivalry dominated by the Redskins. That was the bright moment for St. Louis, and they're leading 7-0. First and 10 at the 35-yard line. Tony Peters is in at strong safety, better against the run, Coffey against the pass. Play action pass, wide open is Doug Marsh, the tight end. He's in Redskin territory, a big gain of 24 yards to the 41-yard line. Coleman and Jordan made the tackle, but Hank, Doug Marsh, the tight end, was all alone.
Yes, he was, and they were so concerned about the outside receivers that they rotated to the split inside, which is to the defensive right. And for that reason, the tight end was wide open in the middle area. Look at him, wide open. He makes the catch, goes up the field, and does a good job of running. Once he makes the catch, finally, Monty Coleman, number 51, makes the tackle.
And the Cardinals are going to the air early, not just trying to establish the running game, as so many clubs have tried to do.
That's what you have to do against the Washington Redskins. You can't make a living on trying to run the football.
First and 10. Here's a pass intended for Marsh, overthrown. Lomax was claiming an interference down the line. Neil Lomax, who is in his 4th year, has gained a tremendous measure of poise, hasn't he, in his first few years?
He really has. I think when he first came up, and it's typical of young quarterbacks, especially quarterbacks who like to move a lot and throw the ball on the run. They go back into the pocket if they're not careful with the idea not to throw the ball, but to run as soon as they get in a little trouble. Now he has exercised great patience. He hangs in the pocket very, very well, and there was a good illustration of it. He's not going to jump out of there before he's ready to.
Only 5 minutes gone by in the opening quarter. Pitch to Otis Anderson, who is hit at the 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 9. Tom Beasley and Vernon Dean make the tackle for the Redskins. So it'll be 3rd down and 9, and now the nickel defense comes in for Washington, and they usually use, what, the 4 corners and the safety, Jordan?
Yes, they use 4 corners and the safety man, as you mentioned, Jordan, as the 5 defensive backs.
And Tony McGee and Perry Brooks, their pass rushers up front. So we'll see what Lomax does against that array. Neil Lomax has had a pretty good ratio, touchdown passes versus interceptions last year and again this year.
They're trying to hide Roy Green as much as they can. He lines up in the backfield some to make sure that they disguise where he's going to be.
3rd down and 9. Pressure. The Redskins going after him. Monty Coleman over. Penalty marker down. The pass is thrown away in a hurry. And Coleman, who leads the Redskins in sacks, put tremendous pressure on Lomax.
And Tony McGee, number 78, he also was hot in pursuit of the quarterback Lomax, and he got rid of the ball just in time, or else he'd have got the sack on the play.
Holding against St. Louis. And the Redskins determined to get in there.
You don't think they'll decline the penalty, do you?
Number 80. It's declined.
I don't think so.
Down.
They're not going to have as long a conference as we saw the officials have on that touchdown play back in '75.
That's right. They're going to make a quick decision on this one.
Doug Marsh was holding. It'll be 4th down.
For Washington, number 21.
Carl Birdsong, who's averaging 41 yards a kick.
On this kick, a right-footed kicker, he should try to kick the ball to his left. Or try to get it up in the air and kick one of those pooch kicks where it goes down about the 10-yard line. Let's see what he does.
Mike Nelms is back. The Cardinals punt coverage is last in the NFL. So we have the best and the worst in punt coverage today. But this kick is headed for the end zone. It bounces at the 2 and goes into the end zone. It's a touchback. And with 9:02 to go in the first quarter, Redskins will take over. The Cardinals lead at 7-0.
There'll be 50,000 people here tomorrow. The Office Automation Expo. This company is big in computers. They're just announcing their first system. But one company has it all right now. Professional workstations, electronic printers, file servers, and they can all work together. They've already installed more than 800 networks worldwide. What puts this company ahead of the others? Teamwork.
Hi, I'm Terry Bradshaw for Z-Rex antifreeze and coolant, the premium protection that lasts all year. Z-Rex protects your engine in all kinds of weather, from the bitter cold of a Pennsylvania steel town to the steamy heat of a Sunbelt summer. And it blocks out rust and corrosion, even in cars with aluminum parts.
Hey, Bradshaw, you're next.
I wish I could get this kind of protection on the field all the time. Z-Rex antifreeze, premium protection that lasts from Conoco.
Dick Stockton and Hank Stram back at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. 1st and 10 for the Redskins on the 20-yard line. Joe Theismann, 6th in the NFC in passing coming into this weekend. Calvin Muhammad in motion. And Riggins outside picks up some decent yardage and gets to the 26-yard line, a gain of 6. Now for an NFL Today report, here's Brent Musburger in New York. Brent?
Dick, here's the magnificent Walter Payton of the Chicago Bears in behind Matsui. This is simple power right. Freeze on the cornerback with a dandy move and 6 for Chicago. They lead at 7-0. Back to Dick.
All right, Brent, thank you. Tampa Bay, Chicago in that NFC Central battling it out. 2nd down and 4. Theismann's been red hot the last 2 weeks with 7 touchdown passes. Goes to Riggins again, and Riggins inside gets a yard. It'll be 3rd and short. David Galloway, who has been called the Raging Bull, he's a terrific inside lineman that they like very much. Henry makes the tackle.
Yeah, he's big and he's strong. He's 6'3", 277, and played his collegiate football at the University of Florida, number 2 draft choice in 1982. But as you mentioned, they call him the Baby Bull, and he likes that name too, doesn't he?
He does, and he said the problem of going against that offensive line is they just great wall. They just push you forward.
They just take it away you want to go, and Riggins does the rest.
3rd down and 2 at the 28. Wansley in motion, and Riggins is stopped short of a 1st down. Cardinals are primed defensively. Thomas Howard and Mark Duda make the tackle and stop Riggins from gaining those 2 yards.
Right now, it's very obvious that the St. Louis Cardinals are winning the war up front. They're controlling the line of scrimmage, and that's the difference so far.
And Floyd Peters leads that defensive unit for the Cardinals.
Happiness, full of happiness all over his face.
The Silver Rush, the Gold Rush. He's been to San Francisco and Detroit. Hayes with his 2nd punt, and Mitchell is back. We have 7 minutes and 29 seconds remaining in the first quarter. 7-0 the Cardinals lead, and they'll get their hands on the ball again. bounces at the 42, and the Cardinals will be happy to let it roll, and they'll have good field position at the 37-yard line when we come back. So the Cardinals and Lomax go on offense again. Joe Gibbs wonders.
Introducing a Plymouth, engineered with quality and luxury to challenge Buick Century and Old Sierra, but for over 1,000 less. Introducing Caravel. Match it. Caravel, with luxury equipment and comfort for a family of 6. Caravel, with the 550 protection plan and the option of turbo power. The 550 Plymouth Caravel. Match it if you can. Plymouth, best built, best backed American cars.
Steel is the best of both worlds. American know-how and world-class technology working together to make us the best steel company in America.
The best of both worlds is working for you at the new National Steel.
Tuesday.
How different we are.
I kind of like it. It's danger and intrigue when an American cowboy and a Russian ballerina fall in love. Can Lee Majors give her freedom?
There's Floyd Peters, who said the Cardinals were too cautious, even scared a few weeks ago. They're a lot more physical now.
And the fact that they jump ahead of the Washington Redskins this early is going to give them a lot more confidence and a lot more security as far as what they know they can do well.
At the 38, 1st and 10, Earl Farrell and Otis Anderson. The backs, Farrell goes in motion way outside. Draw play to Otis Anderson. Looking for room and doesn't get much, maybe a yard. Mel Kaufman, good run defender at outside linebacker for the Redskins, makes the tackle. Check on some scores in the National Football League right now. Green Bay and Seattle are 7-7. Largent hit Craig with a touchdown pass. Cincinnati has the lead in that Ohio battle with 1-6 teams in the first quarter. Denver up over Buffalo 3-0. And Pittsburgh over Indianapolis 3-0. Dexter Manley has come in now for Tom Beasley at right defensive end. 2nd and 9. And he's a good pass rusher. Lomax up the middle, almost intercepted by Rich Malott. I think Tilley was the intended receiver, Hank, but it was closer to Rich Malott.
Yeah, that was just poorly thrown. Just a badly thrown ball, and he doesn't do that very often. Watch Kaufman, 55, comes around the outside, but he didn't have any effect on the way he threw the ball. Already Perry Brooks, number 69, was in front of the passer, and I think that's why he felt a little pressure and threw the ball before he really wanted to get rid of the ball.
Lomax can tie Charlie Johnson, Hank, with a touchdown pass to make it 17 straight games. He didn't practice Friday because of a sore elbow. He looks all right today.
Yeah, I watched him in the pregame warm-up, and he was very efficient.
Stump Mitchell and Willard Harrell now are in the lineup. As Lomax goes to the shotgun, 3rd and 9. Here they come. Lomax steps up. He's got some time. He doesn't have forever. He throws it up for grabs, and it's incomplete. He was going for Roy Green, but Green was smothered by the Redskins defense led by Darrell Green.
Green is lined up on the left side. He gets a shot coming off the line of scrimmage by Darrell Green. Stops and tries to go back to the outside. Gets another shot going outside. They look for the ball. Has no chance whatsoever to make the play. Vernon Dean is also there to help make the play, but he throws the ball over the top very wisely, or else it had been intercepted.
That's that poise we were talking about. So now Birdsall will punt with 6:13 to go in the first quarter. Nelms is back at the 20-yard line. It's high, not long. Nelms stopped at the 27 by Carlos Scott. He played it cool, didn't he? But he didn't get much. And we'll be back.
Today's cars do things yesterday's cars didn't.
Please fasten seatbelt.
Their smaller, higher revving engines can break down an oil's viscosity within 1,500 miles. The tests show Castrol suffers no significant breakdown of viscosity even after 5,000 miles. So listen to your car.
Exceeding recommended RPM.
It may be telling you something. Castrol, engineered for smaller cars.
Hi, Sheriff. What's good? The soup. I don't eat much soup anymore.
It's good for you. This ad says Campbell's vegetable beef soup's a real good source of vitamin A. That's important. And another thing.
What?
It tastes good.
Ma'am, I'll have a bowl of that Campbell soup, please.
Kid.
Huh?
Eat carefully.
Yes, sir.
Campbell's soup is good food.
It's got to be kind of a strange day for Jim Hart, who played for the Cardinals for 18 years and now returns in the uniform of the Washington Redskins.
Yeah, and he's got a restaurant here with Dan Beardorf, and he's very sentimentally involved in the St. Louis area, and he's got to come back here with mixed emotions, although the only thing that's really important to him today is do something to help win this football game for the Washington Redskins.
He's happy in Washington. A lot of people have tried to draw him into a controversy about how you feel about the Cardinals, but he refuses to get into that.
No, he's a classy guy, and he would never get involved in that kind of a controversy at all.
Redskins have 1st and 10 at the 29. Clint Didier, a good receiver who can go deep as a tight end, now goes in motion outside. Play action pass. Theismann throws complete out of bounds to Calvin Muhammad, and a pickup of about 9 yards. For an NFL Today report, here again is Brent Musburger in New York.
Dick, the Eagles have been waiting all year. Now this play is designed for a first down to Kenny Jackson. Jaworski's got him, but now he splits the middle, and he goes 83 yards for his first National Football League touchdown. And the Eagles lead the Giants 7-0. Let's go back to Dick and Hank.
Well, they say that Kenny Jackson, when he gets into the league a little bit more, he's going to be quite a speedster in the receivers we saw there. Here is Riggins. First down for the Redskins to the 43-yard line. One thing, Hank, the Redskins don't change their plan, do they, much?
Well, that's the great thing about this team. They've won enough with this kind of a setup. They know what they're going to do. They know what they want to do. And even though they don't succeed early, they're not going to deviate from the plan. They know what they have to get done, and they're going to stay with it. And that is, they're going to try to run the ball and give the ball to Riggins and try to move the chains and keep the ball away from the St. Louis Cardinals. That's what the plan is. I think also they got to have to throw the ball some, especially play-action passes early on 1st and 10.
Yeah, they live to run the football to win, but to be the second-best scoring team in the conference at over 27 points, they had to throw some too. 1st and 10 at the 43, and there he goes. Theismann pumps, goes up on top, and the pass almost intercepted by Benny Perrin. He was looking for Clint Didier downfield, and the pass was not a good one, Henry, because Perrin had the best shot at it.
Well, they had double coverage that time, and I don't think he anticipated that. The official took a shot that time. Seemingly is all right. The officials.
Bill Quinby is the fellow's name, the side judge. Chuck Heberling is the referee, and there you look at the rest of the officiating crew.
But he said, I'm all right, let's go. We can look somewhere early. We can look for Muhammad to try to make a double move on Wayne Smith. Wayne is the fine young defensive back from Purdue University, but he takes the bait very quickly sometimes on any kind of a first move, and so as a result, some kind of a square up and out or a hook and go, something could be very effective against him.
2nd and 10 at the 43. In motion comes Art Monk. Theismann completes to Art Monk, who has a first down into Cardinal territory. At the 43-yard line, Wayne Smith, the defender on the play, and there you're looking at Art Monk, who leads the NFC. That's his 44th catch of the season.
Wayne Smith had to come all the way across the field with Monk, who went in motion. He gave him a lot of room in front. He just broke up the field and broke out to the outside and made the catch. Talking about Art Monk, but they're going to spend a lot of time on, I guarantee you, working on Wayne Smith, number 44, the right corner.
There's a guy with the whole package. Size, speed, moves, and hands. Art Monk having his best year. 1st and 10 at the Cardinal 43. 5:02 remaining in the first quarter. 7-0 St. Louis leading. They're going deep up on top, and it's caught by Art Monk on the right sideline, inside the 20-yard line to the 18. Lionel Washington makes the tackle. So Monk, 14 yards to one side, 25 yards to the other.
And he's got him on. He's got Monk play action fake. just got rid of the ball in time because they had a blitz on the backside. Throws the ball up on top. Lionel Washington, who played his collegiate football at Tulane. Watch this. This is a great picture. He's in a tight position with him, running down the field. He's not looking for the ball yet. He sees the receiver, Art Monk, look for it. Then he starts to turn and look for it. It's too late, and the ball's right on the money.
At the 18-yard line, 1st and 10. Redskins trying to tie the ball game up. Art Monk goes in motion. Play action, Theismann. He's looking. He's going to run it. He's hit as he slides, and the whistle had blown before he coughed the ball up at the 14-yard line. Bubba Baker doesn't have a lot of tackles, Hank, this year, and maybe he kind of took it out on Theismann on that play.
Yeah, he gave him a shot up on top. Watch this now. Joe Theismann, and he's got great presence and a good feel. Play action. He's looking downfield. Get ears in the open. Now watch as he decides to run the ball. Watch the shot Baker gives him up on the hot. He gives him a high hit right into the head. That should have been a penalty. Anytime you get a shot like that above the shoulder pads into the head area, should be a penalty. They didn't call it.
Cardinals are fortunate. 2nd down and 7 at the 14. Theismann has 11 touchdown passes. Art Monk has caught 2 in this drive. Riggins powers his way to the 10-yard line. Benny Perrin and Thomas Howard make the tackle on John Riggins. There is Howard, who was acquired from the Kansas City Chiefs prior to the first game of the year. He's not big, doesn't make many mistakes, and he's awfully smart.
Yeah, he's very alert and has terrific quickness. At that time, they ran that counter tray play to the left. They run it to the right most of the time, but it was all plugged up on the outside, so Riggins just decided to take what they gave him and ran out right up the middle with it, made some yardage.
3rd down and 3. Theismann on 3rd down completes the pass inside the 5 to Art Monk. The tackle by Lionel Washington, and it'll be another 1st down for the Redskins inside the 5-yard line. So they've gone to Monk, long, short, and medium on this drive.
Well, Monk, I think that's the great thing about their system. They're going to get their people in a position to make big plays and make catches. Monk that time went from one side to the other, and Lionel Washington had to cover him. He was expecting him to go out into the right flat, but instead he came inside, and the ball was thrown right on the money for the 1st down.
1st and goal at the 4. 7-0 Cardinals. Otis Wansley, the blocking back. John Riggins, a yard, and that's all. John Riggins, he's a touchdown man. He scored 24 last year for an NFL record, has 8 so far this year. Howard and Ullerman, the middle linebacker, make the tackle. It'll be 2nd and goal.
This Redskin team has a lot of poise. They're not going to panic. They're staying with what they know they can do well, and they're doing it much better right now on this 3rd series of the game than they did earlier in the first 2.
Interestingly, though, the Redskins have had to pass to gain the yards, not to run. They're not running that well, right?
That's a great thing about it. They have good balance. They can do it either way.
2nd and goal at the 3. Riggins hit again at the line and thrown back. He did not move the pile on that play.
And it looked like 59, Thomas Howard, the linebacker, was very involved in the play. He came in from the side and made the tackle along with Kurt Ullerman.
Ullerman is in his 8th year, and this is the first time in his career he has been a starter. He says, I've always been ready, and that's what's kept me in the lead.
Really a delightful guy to talk to. There's Peters giving the signals to the defense.
3rd and goal. Even though it's early, it's a big play. Throws, touchdown, penalty marker down. Clint Didier on the reception, but a penalty is down. And let's wait. Holding is the preliminary signal given by Chuck Heberling. He's keeping us all in suspense.
Holding. Defense.
But it's defensive holding against the Cardinals. Decline. Touchdown, Washington.
It's a touchdown.
You talk about threading the needle. He got that ball. I don't know how he got the ball. It looked like a phantom shot. inside to Didier. Lee Nelson, 38, was covering on the play, and it looked like when he threw it, he had no chance at all to make the reception, but he did. And he gets 6 points on the board.
Theismann will be holding for Mark Mosley with 1:19 to go in the first quarter, and Mosley's kick is good. He has not missed an extra point all year, and we have a tie at 7-7.
All right, watch Didier. He's on the left side. Theismann goes into the pocket. Watch him break into the middle area. Look at, he just gets across the goal line. Lee Nelson, number 38, is there to cover. I don't know how you can cover any better than that, but it's typical of what happens when you throw a perfect ball.
And Didier has 4 catches this year, 3 for touchdowns.
Come on, shake it up! Sharp introduces a revolutionary change for the copy center. The compact, affordable Sharp SF900. It has 3 different reduction modes and an enlargement mode. It does a fast 40 copies per minute and has an optional sorter and automatic document feeder. In short, it does all the work of a copy center without taking up all the room.
The compact, affordable Sharp SF900. From Sharp Minds come Sharp products.
Ollie, if you don't hurry, I'll miss my plane.
Well, I'm doing the best I can in this terrible rain.
Would a new set of Vanco wiper blades help?
Certainly. Put them on.
Change to Anco. They clean better than any other blade. Tests prove it.
There, now I can see an airplane. Airplane! Oh!
Don't worry, Ollie. It wasn't mine. That's mine.
Oh!
Anco. The best blades you can buy. Tests prove it.
Here's the scoring drive. Theismann was perfect on the drive for the touchdown, and here's how he did it, Henry.
Here we see Didier coming across in motion right in here. Comes in motion, comes to the outside, breaks inside. Lee Nelson tries to cover him. He doesn't. The ball is thrown perfectly. And Theismann goes right back into the pocket, delivers the ball right inside perfectly for the touchdown. Let's take a look at it. Here we go. All right, watch him. There he goes inside. There he is, makes an outside move inside. The ball is thrown perfectly. Touchdown. And look at this happiness for Didier. Look at that. Big smile for Didier. Touchdown. Okay.
All right. Happiness. Sadness for the Cardinals. Happiness for the Redskins. Here's the kickoff, and it's Pittman inside the 10-yard line. Pittman running out again to the 30. Pittman to the 36-yard line. He returned the opening kickoff 43 yards to really spur the Cardinals there. This was 29-yard return. Anthony Washington makes the tackle. Well, next week on CBS Sports, college football, many of you will see 8th-ranked Ohio State with Heisman candidate Pete Myers take on Wisconsin at Big Ten action. And those of you out west will see Arizona play host to Pac-10 rival UCLA, victors over California yesterday. Next Saturday at 12 noon Eastern, right here on CBS, 3 o'clock Pacific. First and 10 at the 36-yard line. 7-7 the score, 1:08 remaining in the first quarter. Anderson hit immediately, and Dave Butts was all over. Right now, for an NFL Today report, here's Brent Musburger in New York.
Well, Dick, Walter Payton is on his way to another banner day. If he rushes for more than 100 yards, it'll be 7 straight games. He already has 2 touchdowns against the Buccaneers, and Chicago is dominated 14-0. Let's go back to Dick.
All right, Brent, the Bears 4-3 coming in, could go 5-3 in the division.
They just found out that Dave Butts is still an all-pro. They ran right at him, and he got nothing.
He, by the way, as you know, he was a former Cardinal first draft choice back in 1973. He was traded to the Redskins. Second down and 9. Up the middle, dropped by the second tight end, Greg LaFleur. Now, if you want to know who Dave Butts was traded for in the deal that sent him to Washington, and all he is now is an all-pro tackle.
Do we have time?
Well, he was traded, yeah.
For as many draft choices. Go ahead and tell
That's
them.
right. Well, here are the guys who figured in the trade for Butts. Steve Pisarkowitz, a quarterback, Ken Green, a defensive back, and George Franklin. You remember George?
Yes, very vividly, yes.
3rd and 9 at the 37-yard line. Lomax has thrown 5 incompleted passes in a row. Out of the shotgun, man puts pressure on him. Lomax's throw, incomplete. Roy Green was the intended receiver. And Darrell Green, who's got a lot of speed, was covering on the play. It's 4th down.
Roy Green likes to catch crossing patterns, and that was a crossing pattern because he runs so well once he catches the ball. That time, the ball was a little low. Normally, he makes that kind of a catch, but he missed that one.
So Carl Birdsong is in to punt for the 3rd time today, and Mike Nelms goes back deep for the Redskins. The Redskins haven't been all that happy with their punt returns because of the blocking up front. Hasn't been what they've had in the past.
I talked to Nelms before the game on the elevator. He was all excited about this game and felt that they were going to do a good job on the specialty teams, and he always does a good job of returning the ball. He's something special.
Is he going up or down in that elevator?
Well, I think he was going down.
Almost blocked by man, and a penalty marker down. Nelms knocked down inside the 30-yard line, but a penalty flag is up, and roughing the kicker against the Redskins. That's going to give the Cardinals possession, and in the 1st down, keeps it alive for them.
Normally, though, when you touch the kick, when you block the kick, you can't call roughing the kicker.
Well, Charles Mann is saying just that.
Let's see what they call here.
It could either be running into the kicker or roughing the kicker. The difference is a 15-yarder compared to a 5-yarder for just running into the punter. Here's Chuck Heberlin.
Running into the kicker, number 71. 5 yards.
Charles
first
Mann.
down.
That's a 5-yard penalty, but it's a 1st down.
There you see Birdsong kicking it. Mann runs across his foot and gets a piece of his foot, and evidently that's what they called the penalty for.
10 seconds remain in the 1st quarter, and the Cardinals keep possession. They have a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Jim Hannafin said about Joe Gibbs, man of detail, meticulous guy, one of the big reasons for his success as a head coach.
Very obvious, Dick, that they both like each other and respect each other very, very much.
Earl Farrell goes in motion. 10 seconds to go, and Lomax will try to put it up. He's thrown 6 incompletions, and now it's number 7. Farrell was the intended receiver, and there are 5 seconds remaining in the quarter. So Lomax is in a bit of a slump right now.
And that was a bad throw. I think anytime you have an anchored receiver like Farrell was, you got to throw the ball at the number so he can make the catch and get up the field as soon as possible. That time his ball was thrown very high, and had he even made the catch, he wouldn't really have much of an opportunity to get up the field and make any yardage on the play.
You know, that touchdown pass to Roy Green early in the game was the 16th TD pass in as many games, 16 straight games, which ties him with Charlie Johnson. Lomax would just like to get 1 completion under his belt now. He's going to give it to Otis Anderson, and Anderson, with good effort, bucks forward to the 47-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 4. Darrell Grant makes the tackle as the gun ends the 1st quarter. So here at Busch Stadium, a sellout crowd. The Cardinals can go into a tie for 1st, and they are indeed tied with the Redskins 7-7. We'll be back.
Hey, Dad, look at Harold's new Japanese car.
Colt? Colt's not a Japanese car.
Sure, feel how soft the doors are.
Look at the fit. And what a deal I got.
Colt, imported for Dodge and Plymouth, built by Mitsubishi in Japan.
Let's take a spin.
First, take your shoes off.
Why isn't this car called something Japanese?
Colt, it's all the Japanese you need to know.
I know I need to get help with my money, but where am I going to get the time?
The only people who get really good help with their money are the ones who don't need it.
The last time I went to get financial advice, all I heard was gobbledygook.
It hasn't been easy getting help with your money. You've been put off, confused, and double-talked into doing one of the worst things possible. Nothing. Well, it doesn't have to be that way, because the Sears Financial Network is here with member company offices throughout the country. For your investments, there's Dean Witter with almost 60 years of experience. There's Coldwell Banker, the nation's largest full-service real estate company. And for insurance, Allstate, a partner with Sears for over 50 years. And in more and more Sears stores, there's a Sears Financial Network Center open every hour Sears is open. It's time. You got the help you need.
The Sears Financial Network. Trust us to make it work for you.
Along with Hank Stram, Dick Stockton here in St. Louis, Missouri at Busch Stadium. We are 7-7, the Cardinals and the Redskins, as we start the second quarter. Cardinals looking for their first third down conversion, 3rd and 4 to 47.
One thing we can look for a little bit as we go along here, too, Pat Tilley is really an excellent receiver, a very controlled receiver, and he has great moves, and I wouldn't be surprised if they started to do something with him pretty soon.
He can be awfully deceptive. Everyone looks to Green. Quick pass is caught and dropped, fumble. It's recovered by the Cardinals. Roy Green caught the ball. Danny Pittman recovered the fumble, and Green is shaken up. That was a fumble, and Pittman was there, and Roy Green looks like he really took a shot. Anthony Washington made a hit on it.
You talk about using your shoulder pads. Anthony Green, number 24, did exactly that. Really made great contact. Watch Roy Green, number 81, coming off the line of scrimmage. Breaks to the outside. Turns his head quickly to locate the football. He makes the catch, and watch the hit here. He just makes the catch, turns and starts to go up the field, and look at the shot he gets by Anthony Washington. Washington really gives him a shot with the shoulder pads, the left shoulder specifically, and the ball is recovered by Pittman, and St. Louis still has possession.
But Roy Green, who has been the great pass receiver leading the NFC in yardage coming into this game, is still shaken up, so we'll be back.
When they put a heavy load on your shoulders, there's nothing like having a friend you can count on. The new Toyota electronically fuel-injected one-ton truck. It'll carry over 2,500 pounds. And with an optional towing package, you can pull up to 5,000 pounds. The Toyota one-ton truck.
Thanks, old buddy.
Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
Can you believe it? JT with an $18 million contract?
Sure is a long way from the playground.
Think he still drinks Strohs?
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
JT, man!
Richard. Timothy.
Oh, this is all right. Glad he didn't forget his friends. Or his Strohs. Where is the Strohs?
Out by the pool.
The pool?
Strohs and Stroh Light.
Now that's a cooler.
Fire brewed for smoother taste.
She's a grandmother, she's a murderer, and she's about to be executed. She's Diane Sawyer's first 60-minute story, Sunday.
We're back, and Roy Green, going off on his own power, is just taking a breather right now. They need him.
Watch Roy Green. He goes in motion to the right side. Then he changes and go back to the left side. Now watch, Darrell Green is still covering him man for man. We see a lot of movement on the part of the... See the defense shift around with his movement. They're running around. It looks like a Japanese auction.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line, so I guess they try all kinds of movement and deception on these plays.
Well, they have to decide where the power is and where they want to work from, and they worked toward Green that time, and that's why we saw all the movement.
14:31 to go in the second quarter. Anderson picks up 5 yards on that play for an NFL Today report. Let's go to Brent Musburger in New York.
Dick, now that the Tigers are no longer around for camouflage, the Wolves are going to start howling in Detroit about Monty Clark. Minnesota has jumped out by 2 touchdowns. That was Ted Brown going in. It's 14-0, Vikes over the line. Back to Dick and Hank.
We're back. Otis Anderson was slow getting up, and he is slow walking off the field now for the Cardinals. Roy Green, we understand, is all right. But the man of concern now is Otis Anderson. Stump Mitchell has replaced him in the lineup. Earl Farrell goes in motion, and Mitchell, who's done well as an understudy for Otis Anderson, has a first down at the 30-yard line of the Redskins. Hoffman makes the tackle. Seems that every time he gets a chance, Stump Mitchell does something great.
He's got great feet. He really has. Stump Mitchell has great feet. He's not very large, 5'9", 188. Watch him coming off the line of scrimmage. They have a block with the left guard pulling in the middle linebacker, but he breaks to the outside and finally tackled by Rich Malott, number 57.
And the cheer was for Roy Green, who's come back into the game for the Cardinals. He has now caught 7 touchdowns this year, led the NFL with 14 TD receptions a year ago. So Green's in there again, 1st and 10 at the 30. Farrell and Mitchell are the split backs.
Well, look at all the room Green has on the right side.
And now a delay of the game penalty has been called against the Cardinals, so they'll step off 5 yards.
You know, talking about Roy Green, number 81, he used number 25 initially and had to change his number from a defensive back to an offensive receiver. Emmett Thomas, who was such a great defensive back for us at Kansas City, is now working with the receiver and suggested he wear number 81. He didn't want to wear it because he said, I never heard of anybody who wore number 81 who was really a great player. Emmett Thomas says Warren Wells of the Oakland Raiders was really a great receiver. Wear that number, and that's why he's wearing number 81, because of Warren Wells.
1st and 15. Warren Wells, of course, was with your club before he went to the Raiders.
Yes, and he was a great one.
Mitchell goes in motion, 1st and 15. Farrell is open. Farrell is the safety valve. He's got the ball, and Farrell fighting his way to the 31-yard line. Just gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Darrell Green makes the tackle. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
He was looking for Roy Green that time, but they had him double covered, and for that reason he dumped the ball off into the flat to Earl Farrell, who makes a nice play and gets down the field and makes a little yardage on the play.
So Farrell and Mitchell go out of the ball game now, and Otis Anderson is back in there for the Cardinals. There is O.J. Anderson. 2nd down and 10. 7-7 the score. The Redskins and the Cardinals, and there's an inside handoff to Otis Anderson. Anderson is a 1st down inside the 20. Boy, did he come back big in that play.
Well, he saw a little cavity there and took advantage of it. You know, they're so concerned about the outside receivers, and specifically Roy Green, that that kind of a play can be very effective. Look at the trap. It was a trap block that time. Terry Steve, the left guard, was trapping the defensive left tackle, Dave Butts, made a beautiful block, and of course Anderson plows right through there for the necessary yardage of the 1st. Watch Terry Steve, the left guard, on Dave Butts. Gets a good block. Butts is underneath the block, but it doesn't make any difference. He's out of the play.
And it's not very often you get him out of the play. Meanwhile, Anderson is being helped off by Pittman. So Otis Anderson is shaken up. And he comes out of the ball game. Anytime you lose a Green or an Anderson, you're going to have some problems. They're big people for the Cardinals.
Yeah, they're big, strong people. The only thing about the possibility of Stump Mitchell, he's a different kind of a back. He's shorter and very, very quick and explosive, and he makes things happen too.
And he's gotten 100 yards each time Otis has been out. So it's 1st and 10 at the 17. And Tilley, the intended receiver, was covered by Darrell Green as Lomax was going for 6 in the corner of the end zone.
I think once they throw the ball to Pat Tilley, if they throw it to him a few times, and especially he makes a couple of catches, they're going to have to change that coverage a little bit more, and it will still be even more effective for Roy Green.
Are they double covering Pat Tilley?
No, they're not. Not very often. They're trying to double cover Roy Green, and as a result, Tilley should be one-on-one, and he's a guy that they ought to be able to throw the ball to on some occasions.
For years, Pat Tilley was the leading receiver on the Cardinal team, but he knows his role now.
Great body control and a good movement.
2nd and 10. The pitch to Stump Mitchell. Mitchell looking for room, doesn't have much, and he's knocked out of bounds. Back at the 21-yard line, a loss on the play. Curtis Jordan and Vernon Dean make the stop. So it'll be 3rd down and about 12. Vernon Dean, who has 6 interceptions this year. He didn't even start the first 2 games.
The other thing about Vernon Dean, he's an excellent tackler from the corner position, a good fourth man. And on the last play was a great illustration of the kind of tackling ability he has in the open field.
3rd down and 12. The ball at the 19-yard line. Lomax directing traffic, sends Green out on the right. Inside handoff to Stump Mitchell. He's got blockers. Stump Mitchell is upended inside the 15-yard line. It'll be 4th down, and O'Donohue will come in, and so the Cardinals will try to take the lead with 3.
And Vernon Dean was the guy who made the tackle again, an upending tackle on Stump Mitchell. Boy, it was a beautiful shot by Vernon Dean, number 32.
So Neil O'Donohue, who is 9 of 15 this year and has been kicking a lot of long field goals, but they don't make jokes about that Monday night affair last year anymore, do they?
Well, they forget in a hurry once you make one.
He's had 3 field goal attempts blocked this year. This is a 29-yard attempt with Benny Perrin holding. Trying to give St. Louis the lead in the game. O'Donohue's kick is up. It's good, and the Cardinals have the lead again. 29-yard field goal by 6'6" Neil O'Donohue from Ireland. And the Cardinals lead the Redskins 10-7.
When you've got a long way to go, it's nice to go with a friend. The 1985 Toyota Standard Bed truck toughened up this year with more horsepower than ever, so you know it can carry its share of the load. The new Toyota Standard Bed truck at only $59.98.
Friend, you're worth twice the price.
Shed some light on do-it-yourself projects with quality electrical supplies from True Value Hardware stores. Brighten a dark workshop area with this American fluorescent shop light fixture or a Master Electrician 25-foot trouble light. This Jim Electric 8-outlet power strip gives you power where you need it most. And you can light up a dark yard and make it safer with a Master Electrician dusk to dawn security fixture from participating True Value Hardware stores and home centers.
10 minutes and 17 seconds remain in the first half. The Gateway Arch on a cloudy afternoon in St. Louis, but the fans are loving it so far. The Cardinals lead at 10-7. There is Mike Nelms back at the goal line. Neil O'Donohue, who just kicked a 29-yard field goal, kicking off. Short kick, end over end. Nelms could get a good run back here at the 11-yard line. Mike Nelms up the middle is hit. Tries to get away, but can't as he's downed at the 25 by Dave Aaron. Well, don't forget, coming up next, a CBS Sports special, America's Marathon Chicago. And this race features Olympic gold medalist Carlos Lopes. It's one of the strongest marathon fields ever around downtown Chicago. Coverage begins after football right here on CBS Sports. That drive, 14 plays, 52 yards. That's what Washington has averaged on first down. Pretty good, huh?
They're strong.
They're at the 25. Here comes Art Monk. And there goes Riggins. Pitches back to Theismann. This is the trick play. And Theismann overthrows Calvin Muhammad, but he didn't fool the Cardinals, because Wayne Smith and Lee Nelson were step for step with Calvin Muhammad.
Yeah, they didn't take a whiff at all of the fake inside. They double covered him step for step. They had no chance whatsoever unless one of the receivers, Riggins, gets the ball and throws it back to Theismann. Theismann delivers it downfield to Calvin Muhammad, and he's got great speed, especially runaway speed, but they had him faded in good shape, and the ball falls incomplete. Credit Wayne Smith, number 44, and Lee Nelson. They had him inside, outside, double covered, had it faded very, very well.
They worked that play to success against the Eagles a few weeks ago. Second down and 10. Rolling out Theismann. He's in trouble. Curtis Greer and his friend. Theismann is tackled inside the 15-yard line.
And they had a strong safety blitz. Lee Nelson was also involved in the rush. This is what they call their dash play. Rolls out to his right. There you see Curtis Greer making a play initially, but Lee Nelson is also on top, along with Baker. It looked like Bubba Baker was also in on the play.
Well, last year, Baker and Greer combined for 29 sacks. They only have 6 coming into this game, so that's a big one for the Cardinals.
You know, the other thing good about Baker, I think Baker's playing the run much, much better than he has in the pass. He's always been an outstanding pass rusher, but I think he's doing much better against the run.
Loss of 11. Back at the 14. Jeff Griffin is the nickel back. Theismann rolling out the other way and drills it incomplete. Art Monk, the intended receiver. It's 4th down, and the crowd is turned on to the St. Louis Cardinals' defensive effort. Will punt a yard in the end zone, and Stump Mitchell, just about at midfield, could give the Cardinals ideal field position.
And he's a dangerous man back there because he has good hands and a great running ability.
Here's Mitchell at the 49 of Washington. He's got room. Penalty marker down. Mitchell to the 30. And Mitchell will go all the way. Touchdown, but wait. A flag down at the 45-yard line may nullify it. The Cardinals don't know about it, however, and they are celebrating what they think is a touchdown. And apparently, Hank, they're going to call it back.
I think so, and it might be Bob Harris, number 50, who was involved, might have been involved in a clip. I don't know.
A 49-yard punt return for a touchdown is nullified by the penalty on St. Louis. Here's Chuck Heberlin.
Illegal block, number 40, on the return. 1st down.
Randy Love. Illegal block.
I saw the 0, and I thought maybe it was 50, but it was 40.
Whatever it is, it's on the red shirt, isn't it?
Yep.
Cardinals will maintain possession, but it's no touchdown. We'll be back.
Sounds like there's a bear in the beer.
What are we going to do?
I'll be right back.
Where's he going?
He's going to get that beer from that bear.
That's not just a bear. That's a grizzly.
Yeah, but that's not just a beer. That's fire brewed Stroh's. I thought we had 3 cases.
Well, had to make a deal.
Stroh's and Stroh Light, fire brewed for smoother taste.
There's a new movement sweeping the country. The 1985 Toyota van. So innovative, it'll change the way you think about vans. It seats 7 or carries 1,500 pounds of sheet music and gives you the best gas mileage of any van you can buy. You can even get an ice maker and 2 sunroofs. The Toyota van. It's a whole new movement.
Tuesday.
You're going to be a very rich man, Howard.
The doctor's made a job offer he can't refuse on ER.
You're kidding. I heard it with my own eyes.
At a special time Tuesday.
Jim Hannafin on the sideline. A touchdown is called back, and Hank Stram on the CBS chalkboard shows you why.
Watch Randy Love right here. He comes across here, and he blocks number 47, Greg Williams, in the back, and that's why they call the penalty. You see it right here. Let's take a look at it. Here we go. There you see Randy Love blocking him above the waist. And here's what he feels about the play. Sadness. Randy Love.
9:15 to go. Sadness not only on Randy Love's face, but on the Cardinal fans.
Yeah, that's right.
They all have that same face you just drew in the stands. I'm looking at it. 1st and 10 at the 43. Otis Anderson is back in there. Doug Marsh, the tight end, setting on the left. Play action. Lomax has room. He's looking deep. Wide open is Tilley. Just overthrew Pat Tilley, who had beaten Vernon Dean by a good 7 yards.
Boy, was he open on the play, too. And that's a great thing about Tilley. Nobody really understands what a great move guy he is. A lot of receivers will fake the grass and fake the synthetic turf. He fakes people. He gets very close to them, turns them around, and takes advantage of that turn. He did that time on Vernon Dean.
They also think Hanky doesn't have any speed. Well, compared to Roy Green, he's not as fast, but it's deceptive.
It really is, and he's got a lot better speed, greater speed than people think he has.
2nd down and 10. With 9:08 remaining in the first half, the Cardinals lead the Redskins 10-7. Keep in mind the Redskins have won 5 in a row over St. Louis and 14 of their last 16. Here is Anderson. Trapped, back, and thrown for a big loss of about 8 yards. For an NFL Today report, here's Brent.
Dick, here's the flea flicker for Chicago. McMahon to Peyton and back to quarterback Jim, who's got Dennis McKinnon open against the Buccaneers, and I mean wide open. But they missed the extra point. It's 20-3. Back to Dick and Hank.
All right, Brent, sometimes, Hank, those extra point misses could come back and haunt you.
They really do. And, of course, you take the kick for granted. A lot of times, some of these kickers put a lot of excitement in that extra point.
3rd down and 16. Bring back the thrill of the conversion. 3rd down, 16. Danny Pittman in the game, number 85 as a 3rd wide receiver. Pressure on Lomax. Fires up the middle. Caught by Tilley. 1st down at the Redskins 39. Ricky Smith makes the tackle. There's Pat Tilley. 24-yard gain.
You know, the great thing about that play was the fact that they gave him terrific pass protection that time. Watch the pass protection. We get a replay here. Look at the time he has to throw the ball. And Pat Tilley, I mentioned him several times. What a great move guy he is. He breaks open into the middle area, delivers the ball right on the money, beautifully thrown, catches it in the middle, and makes the necessary yardage for the 1st down.
And Ricky Smith, the man who stopped him, is back in action after suffering a concussion last week against Dallas and was carried off the field on a stretcher, so it's good to see him back. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals on the Redskins 38. Lomax with a deep drop and a lot of time, running out of time, and dumped at midfield by Darrell Grant. But a penalty flag is down. So let's wait. It is against the Cardinals. That'll be the first sack of the ball game for the Redskins.
Illegal motion, number 85, offense, penalty decline. 2nd down.
So they're going to decline the penalty, an 11-yard loss on the play.
You know, that's the thing about a lot of movement. If you're not careful, if you're not moving away from the line of scrimmage when the ball is snapped, that's going to be an illegal procedure, and that happens an awful lot of times when you're sending people in motion.
48. Pittman and Tilley wide to the right, Green to the left, Willard Harrell and Stump Mitchell line up on the wing. Lomax rolling out. His pass is caught by Pittman. Danny Pittman is playing a fine game, makes the catch at the 37-yard line, a 15-yard pickup. Darrell Green knocked him out of bounds.
Watch the top of the screen. Look at all the room they give him on the right side, but they got a double coverage on the other side on Roy Green. That's why he's single over here. Look at this. All the room. He just stops in front. Darrell Green comes back for the ball. The ball's right on the money, and he's finally knocked out of bounds, but he picks up a nice gain on the play.
It is 3rd down and 6 for Neil Lomax and the Cardinals, who are leading 10-7. Joe Gibbs concerned about the Cardinals' ability to score points. They've averaged over 30. Inside handoff, Stump Mitchell. Stump Mitchell has a 1st down inside the 25. That's twice they've gone to the inside handoff on the shotgun. Good block by Joe Bostic, the right guard.
Watch the ball go back to Lomax. He gives the ball to Stump Mitchell. There's good blocking at the point of attack. They stay with Butts. The right guard stays with Butts and does a good job on him. And finally, Coffey, I think it is, who comes over from the safety position, number 48, makes the tackle.
Well, this Cardinal offensive team is really slick and smart.
Yes, they are. And Joe Bostic that time really did a good job on Dave Butts, number 65. Bostic is 71.
1st and 10 at the 24. Earl Farrell moves, and here is Otis Anderson up the middle. Jumps his way inside the 20-yard line. A good pickup to the 19. Darryl Grant makes the tackle. And that offensive line of the Cardinals are doing the job today so far, Hank.
Terry Steve that time, the left guard. He pulled through the hole and got a block on the middle linebacker that provided that running room.
An offensive line, if you keep them healthy, they stay intact as a unit. They'll really do the job for you. It looks like every club that has problems has injury problems up front.
That's where you win the games. You win the games with those big, strong linemen up front, both offensively and defensively. That's where it all starts.
2nd and 6. Otis Anderson fights his way close to the 15-yard line. Shy of a first down by about 2 yards. And now they're going to have to separate some of the athletes.
The athletes are stretching the pores a little bit.
Randy Clark.
You know, that time Terry Steve and also Joe Bostic both pulling on the play. A lot of traffic there, and as a result, O.J. Anderson had to run inside, and it was a miracle he made as much yardage on the plays he did.
Greg LaFleur is the second tight end into the ball game, number 89. It'll be 3rd down, and along 2, Joe Gibbs has seen so far the Cardinals look good on offense, and Washington struggling against the Cardinal defense, which is the Forrest coming into this game.
We got 2 downs to make 2 yards.
Green to the left. Anderson not going to make it there. Neil Olkewicz was right with him. Now it's 4th down. Monty Coleman may have been shaken up. Jim Hannafin has a decision here. Not taking him long, though, to make it.
No, I don't think he has much of a decision at all. He's got to get points. You get down this close, you just have to get points.
This will be a 34-yard attempt for O'Donohue, who made good on a 29-yard field goal early in the 2nd quarter. Benny Perrin is holding, trying to give the Cardinals a 6-point lead. O'Donohue's kick is up. It is no good. Off to the left. So the Cardinal lead stays at 3 with 4:35 remaining in the first half. And O'Donohue is 10 for 17 on the year.
You had the feeling he tried to steer the ball that time instead of really kick it.
When it comes to getting to the high ground, there's nothing like having a faithful companion. The new Toyota 4x4 SR5 Extra Cab, powering you to the top with a new electronically fuel-injected engine that supplies this truck with more horsepower than any other in its class. The new Toyota 4x4.
Now this is a friend forever.
What gets commuters moving when the weather says no?
Presto.
What gets your car ready for the ice and snow?
Prestone. Why does your car need a fresh fill of Prestone? A radiator could look this bad after just 10,000 miles of driving on weak, neglected antifreeze, while a Prestone radiator looks this good. That's the Prestone difference.
Susie goes to kindergarten. What brings her safely home? America goes with Prestone.
With 4:35 to go in the 2nd quarter, Dick Stockton and Hank Stram here in St. Louis. And the story of the game, Hank, has to be the defensive job the Cardinals are doing.
Right, that's a good observation, because really, I'm a little surprised they're playing as well as they're playing so far. It might change as we go along, but they're playing extremely well right now.
At the 20, 1st and 10 following the missed field goal. Here's Riggins testing the left side. John Riggins gets good yardage. And that's the kind of play that gets the Redskins motor running. Defense out of bounds. Jacoby and Grimm on the left side.
That's always the way it is. The minute you start to brag about something, why, all of a sudden it changes. Here's Riggins starting inside and then breaks to the outside. Look at this. He gets a good block downfield by Art Monk, number 81. And you can't ever run outside with any degree of success unless the outside receivers make a block. Monk made one, and that's why he succeeded in jumping to the outside with such great success.
And Riggins just jumped over Lee Nelson on that play. 1st and 10 on the 33-yard line. 13-yard pickup. Here's Riggins again, going inside, and this time the Cardinals are equal to the task. There's a flag down. Kurt Ollerman was the first to get to him. Holding against the Redskins. You're right, though, about Bubba Baker. He was in on that play, too, and he may not be getting the sacks, Hank, but his run defense has been superlative.
I think overall,
Offense, number 73. First down.
he's a much better defensive end right now, all-around defensive end than I've ever seen him, because he's always very adept at rushing the passer, not very good against the run. He's playing both very well now.
Former Detroit Lion, acquired last year. Mark May was holding on the play, so it'll be 1st and 20.
Floyd Peters has done an excellent job with this defensive line, and of course Tommy Bettis, who worked with me for so many years at Kansas City, really has done a remarkable job with the defensive backs.
Theismann. His pass almost knocked away. It was intended for Calvin Muhammad, and Wayne Smith played it as well as you could play a wide receiver. Wayne Smith, who started this year with Jeff Griffin hurt.
Here you see Muhammad coming off the line of scrimmage, and Wayne Smith with him, step for step. He's looking for the ball. When Muhammad starts to look for the ball, he's right there and came very close to making the interception. Muhammad knocked it out of his hands. It looked like it was a good play on Calvin Muhammad's part.
We talked about Bubba Baker, a former Lion. Wayne Smith is another one.
Yes, and he got a lot of heat there because a lot of people ran by him, but he's doing a great job here. And I talked to Tommy Bettis, and Tommy Bettis said he just needed a lot of work on his fundamental techniques.
2nd down and 20. Keith Griffin is in the lineup, and Theismann is sacked. E.J. Jr., who has been moved around from the middle linebacking spot to outside linebacking. Mr. Enforcer, they call him, sacked Joe Theismann on that play.
There you see Theismann going back into the pocket. They got a stun on with the ends coming up in the middle area on the inside. Watch Junior, number 54, come from the outside. He puts the bear hug on him and gets the sack.
2nd sack of the game for the Cardinals. Curtis Greer has the other, and Floyd Peters has to be feeling good inside. 3rd down and 26 at the 17. Stafford Mays, a pass rushing specialist, is in for Mark Duda.
I think that Joe Theismann's got to move the pocket a little bit more and get away from that pressure inside.
He gets good protection here, and the pass is almost intercepted by E.J. Jr., intended for Clint Didier, and the Cardinals continue to play outstanding defensive football, and the crowd loves it.
Now the momentum, you talk about momentum, the momentum right now is definitely on the side of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Jeff Hayes in to kick inside the 5-yard line, and Stump Mitchell hovering around midfield for the Cardinals. 3:43 remain in the 2nd quarter. The Cardinals lead at 10-7. Hayes gets off a good kick. Mitchell will let it bounce and will go out of bounds at the 43. No return, a 39-yard punt by Hayes, and the Cardinals, leading 10-7, will get another chance when we return.
Giving that extra effort makes winners. Be All You Can Be, sponsored by the U.S. Army. The all-time leading pass receiver in Pittsburgh Steeler history is number 82, John Stallworth. Acrobatic catches are commonplace for this 11-year veteran. But what stands him a cut above NFL's best is his ability to shed tacklers after he has caught the football. By striving for the second effort it takes to turn a short pass into a long touchdown, John Stallworth is the best he can be.
GCA, this is Army 212, 7 miles northwest, low fuel, heavy weather.
Army 212, radar contact, turn right, heading 150.
With a fog-bound helicopter hanging on your every word, it doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman, only that you're good.
Slowly.
Roger.
Over landing threshold.
Be all that you can be.
Thanks for your help.
Roger.
You can do it in the Army.
Neil Lomax put the Cardinals up on top with a 38-yard touchdown pass to Roy Green, and then Joe Theismann threw a short TD pass to Clint Didier. And Neil O'Donoghue's 29-yard field goal early in the 2nd quarter has been the difference. 10-7, the Cardinals lead. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line for Neil Lomax. Looks like he wanted to go deep. And now dumps it off to Marsh, the tight end. And Marsh is close to a first down. Darrell Green makes the tackle. And Marsh helps Green up. He's a nice guy. Scores of other games, Hank, as we look around the rest of the National Football League.
Well, Philadelphia 10-7 over the New York Giants in the second quarter.
McFadden a field goal. He's having a good year.
And Green Bay is scoring in this game 17-10 over Seattle.
You had them in Denver in that snow game.
Yes, and New England 10-10 Miami. That's a dogfight. It always is up in New England. And here's Cincinnati 6 and Cleveland 3.
You think those clubs need a win?
Boy, desperate.
Second down and 1. Lomax will throw 2nd and 1. He dumps it off. Otis Anderson fumbles the ball at the 45-yard line, and the Redskins recover. So this could be the chance the Redskins have been looking for. The turnover. Anderson fumbled. And Tom Beasley, the former Pittsburgh Steeler, recovers for the Redskins.
The pocket is caving in on Lomax. Here you see, and he dumps the ball off to Anderson. Anderson makes a move to get away from the would-be tackler, Dave Butts, and in the process does not secure the ball. The ball is knocked out of his arms and knocked out of his hands, and the Redskins recover on the 45.
Beasley was dropped by the Steelers, and he's found a home in Washington. Now a test for the Cardinal defense.
Yeah, they got to throw here a little bit more on 1st and 10, I think. Here he is.
First down with 2:40 to go. They want to go deep on the first play, and Wayne Smith knocks it away from Calvin Muhammad. What a game he's having.
Yes, and he didn't throw the ball long enough. Had he thrown it long enough, it would have been a touchdown, but Theismann did not get it up in the air enough and did not have enough elevation to get it over the top.
The sun is out for the first time this weekend. Sunshine in St. Louis.
Now watch Joe Theismann. He really gets a shot here. He goes back into the pocket, delivers the ball downfield. He gets rid of the ball. Look at that. Look at the shot he gets by Bubba Baker, number 60. And that's one of the reasons why he didn't get more on it, to get it deeper downfield. A lot of times we see the flight of the ball, or you don't see what happens to the quarterback. That was a great shot.
2:34 remaining in the first half. Second down and 10 at the 45-yard line. Theismann in a crowd. Incomplete. Intended for Clint Didier. Penalty marker down. Lee Nelson may have been called for pass interference, which would give the Redskins a first down in St. Louis territory.
And here again, Joe got pushed back into the pocket again that time. E.J. Jr. was blitzing on the play.
A break for the Redskins.
Pass interference, defense, number 38, first down.
Lee Nelson all over Didier. There's Lee Nelson, who is starting at strong safety with Leonard Smith out with a strained knee. 1st and 10 for the Redskins at the Cardinal 45. So the Cardinal defense is in for the biggest test of the game. Theismann going up on top for Art Monk, and the pass is almost intercepted by Lionel Washington. But he knocked the ball away, and that's what the Cardinals needed.
Well, you talk about a big play. That was a chance for a big play to Monk. But Lionel Washington, who played his collegiate football at Tulane University, has 9.3 speed. Watch it. Watch Monk come off the ball. Watch Washington backpedal. Turns back to the inside. When Monk looks for the ball, he does too. Gets an arm up on top and knocks the ball down. But here again, the ball was thrown just a little bit too short, Dick. Had it been thrown over the top, he'd have had a chance. Watch, he had to slow down a little bit. And when he slowed down, the ball was not out in front enough, and Washington was able to make the play.
Theismann has thrown 6 consecutive incompleted passes. Second down and 10. He's down.
Stafford Mays.
And David Galloway.
Stafford Mays got a good outside rush that kept Joe in the pocket. That's what you have to do.
Bubba Baker in there, too. Why don't we all credit the entire line for the Cardinals?
Well, that's right, but Stafford Mays was the first guy to come across there to slow him down. There you see, then he had to stop to try to go up inside. By that time, he got a shot from the inside by Galloway.
3rd sack of the game. Joe Gibbs looking at the drawing board, Hank. 3rd and 17 back at the 48-yard line with 2:01 remaining. So we'll have the 2-minute warning, and now we'll have it now.
The plays aren't the problem. You can look at all the plays you want to. You got to block people, and that's what it's all about, and that's what's not happening now. The Redskins are not blocking the St. Louis Cardinals.
2-minute warning here in St. Louis, and we'll be back.
There's nothing like the wonderment of a boy catching a football.
I'm Carl Birdsong at NFL St. Louis Cardinals. And there's something very special about this boy, Jeremiah Dellis. He appears to be like any other child.
When he was only 6, he was experiencing a series of strange feelings.
Jeremiah.
His teacher noticed him drifting.
Jeremiah, is there something the matter?
She tried to communicate,
Jeremiah, is there something wrong?
but found only an empty stare.
And then a volunteer from the Epilepsy Foundation came to give the class a presentation.
Some types of seizures, children will simply black out.
Jeremiah knew the symptoms were ones that he had known. He diagnosed himself. His momentary blackouts were a form of epilepsy. And his future? Well, he's going to be just like any other kid. He's going to make the team.
The United Way is solving problems, and there's a place for everyone on the United Way team. Thanks to you, it's working for all of us, the United Way.
Come on, let's go play some football.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
We have 2 minutes remaining in the first half. The Cardinals lead the Redskins 10-7, and Otis Anderson fumbled. Gave the Redskins an opportunity here, but they have yet to take advantage of it. 3rd and 17 on their own 48. Theismann is only 5 of 13 in the ball game for 59 yards. Pressure. Theismann's pass is caught, and a first down. Calvin Muhammad inside the 35, an 18-yard pickup and a big play for the Redskins. Lee Nelson on the tackle.
That's the thing about a guy like Muhammad who has such great speed. They're going to play off of him. There we see Theismann, watch him getting the ball, going right back into the pocket. They get a block on the outside. Pressure inside. Throws the ball right in the middle area. Muhammad makes the catch coming across the middle, but the defensive back was way off, and for that reason he was able to make the catch inside.
Wired from the Raiders for a 4th-round draft pick. He caught 2 touchdown passes against the Cowboys last week, including an 80-yard play. 1st and 10 at the 34. Theismann drills it. Muhammad can't hold on. Kind of turned him around on that play. The clock stops with 1:13 showing, and Muhammad has to be torn away from some of the Cardinals defending.
I think there's a great illustration of not having worked together very long as a quarterback and a receiver. He made his turn, made his cut inside, but not turned his head quickly enough, did not see the ball, and all of a sudden when he turned to make the catch, the ball was there. He did not locate it soon enough out in front, and that's why he didn't make the catch.
Joe Gibbs, of course, is without Charlie Brown. He's without Alvin Garrett, 2 of the Smurfs. And, of course, Joe Washington has been on injured reserve, the great back going out of the backfield.
But in spite of that, somehow, some way, they find a way to win, and that's what it's all about.
McGrath in motion, 2nd and 10 at the 34. Theismann's pass complete to Art Monk, gets away from one man, and is tackled at the 24-yard line, and it should be another first down for the Redskins. E.J. Jr. makes the tackle.
And Jeff Moore that time, number 30, was wide open down the middle, and Joe Theismann did not see him. Had he thrown the ball to Jeff Moore, it would have been a touchdown.
The Redskins call a timeout, and they have 2 remaining. We want to tell you that coming up, NFL Today at halftime, Brenton Irv will have scores and highlights of the action around the league, and of course the story about the knee. Is there one part of the anatomy that gets more attention in football, or any sport for that matter, than the knee?
Well, there's no way in the world that you can protect the knee area enough, because that's where the problems always lie, and there's a brace that protects especially linemen that wear it even in practice to make sure that any kind of a blow from the side protects the knee and keeps it from being a damaging hit.
Theismann and Gibbs talking. You mentioned Jeff Moore, Hank, and of course he's a free agent, formerly with the 49ers, and before that Seattle, who was signed this week, and a dependable pass receiver out of the backfield. He is the 15th player signed this season because of the injuries on the Redskins.
And I think any time that you get a back or a receiver from the San Francisco 49ers, you know he knows something about the passing game.
I guess so, especially if you're a back, because Bill Walsh likes to throw those short passes for ball control.
Yep.
1st and 10 with 1:05 remaining. Riggins is the lone setback. Ball at the 24-yard line. Theismann. Complete start. Monk still on his feet, is tackled at the 5. The clock continues to run, under a minute to go. That was good for 19 yards, and now the Redskins call another timeout. They have one left.
We see a replay, that's the dash play, which means he rolls out, goes back in the pocket like he's going to throw there, and then rolls out to his right. He's closer to the receiver. Look at Monk on the outside, come back for the ball. That was the key to the catch and success of the play. Washington tried to make the play, number 48, but was not able to do so because Monk came back for the ball. Watch it now. Look at it. Makes a move. Now he comes back for the ball. Washington really hasn't covered well, but he makes a good move by coming back for the ball. The ball's thrown outside, and for that reason, it was a good reception.
Art Monk has caught 5 passes so far in this game for 76 yards. He caught 4 against Dallas last week. So now he has 48 on the year, and his career best was 58. That in his rookie year in 1980. And of course, he's never gone over 1,000 years, and he's threatening 1,000 yards, I should say, and he's threatening to do that this season. First and goal now at the 5 with 54 seconds to go.
And we had a nice visit with him yesterday, and I think you asked him, why he has been so successful, and it was a very simple answer. I mean, usually is always simple, in that he works very hard in practice, just like he does in a game, so they get the same picture.
Yeah, the guys that don't work in practice somehow don't do it in the game. Jeff Moore in the lineup, number 30, the bat we were talking about. First and goal. Theismann down, loose ball. The Cardinals may have it. Let's see. St. Louis ball. Kurt Alleman recovered the fumble.
Lee Nelson was blitzing on the play. He's the one that made the play. Number 38, Lee Nelson, the strong safety.
How's that for a big defensive play in the ball game? Just when Joe Gibbs was ready to go in to take the lead.
He's got to be concerned about that. You get that close, they don't usually let that kind of a thing happen. But here again, he was unaccounted for. Lee Nelson, number 38, he's the one. Watch him, 38 on the line of scrimmage like a linebacker. See, and he blitzes on the play. Nobody touches him. They try to get him late, but it's not soon enough. And as a result, he's able to make the play.
For a Cardinal defense, which has been outstanding, this is their brightest moment. They maintained a 10-7 lead. First and 10 on the 14. 47 seconds to go. Lomax playing it safe. Goes to Otis Anderson. Anderson fires out to a first down to the 27-yard line. Neil Olkewicz and Darrell Grant make the tackle, but not before O.J. picks up 13 yards. The crowd would like the Cardinals to call a timeout, but Jim Hanifin is going to play it in conservative fashion here, Hank, and let the seconds tick off.
Yeah, he didn't want to take a chance to make a mistake and give the ball back to the Washington Redskins. That's understandable. He wants to make sure he goes in at halftime with that 10-7 lead.
And, of course, if you had talked to the Cardinals yesterday, as we did, and said, how would you like to have a 10-7 lead at halftime, what would they have said?
Well, they've been doing handstands, I think.
Well, they may be doing them now. Jim Hanifin, Cardinals, lead Joe Gibbs Redskins 10-7 at halftime, with first place at stake in the NFC East. The Washington Redskins have a one-game lead over the Cardinals, the Cowboys, and the Giants. 2 touchdown passes, Theismann to Didier after Lomax hit Green, and the difference has been a Neil O'Donoghue field goal. We'll be back with Brent in the NFL Today, coming right up here on CBS Sports.
Nearly 4 hours. That's how long it took us to paint this room with a roller. Then we painted it in less than 1 hour with the new Wagner Power Roller. A living room that took nearly 7 hours. The Wagner Power Roller finished in less than 3. The Power Roller pumps paint straight from the can to the roller or to any of several optional accessories. Why waste your time painting a pan when you could be painting your walls instead? The Wagner Power Roller, the right tool for painting.
You know, if I'm playing a match on Wednesday, I take my Bic and shave down on this cheek. If it's a semifinal, I shave up. But if it's a month with an R, I take my Bic and go across. Except on Tuesday, of course, when I start on my chin. All this might give you the idea I'm superstitious. No way. It doesn't matter which Bic I use. Superstitious? Nah.
Superstitious or not, avoid all shavers with more than 3 letters.
Hey, go this way.
Honda invented 3-wheelers so families could have more fun together in the wintertime or any time of year. If you want your family to have more fun this winter, see the world's most complete line of 3-wheelers. They're at your Honda dealer.
How far is our Honda dealer, Daddy?
Just keep walking.
They are 2 of the most talented big men to enter the NBA in many years. This season, the Houston Rockets will attempt to play 7-foot Akeem Olajuwon and 7'4" Ralph Sampson on the same front line. If this experiment works, it could quickly transform the Rockets from an NBA also-ran to a championship contender. See Olajuwon and Sampson join forces in their NBA season opener against the Dallas Mavericks next Saturday on CBS Sports.
What are the most dreaded words in the life of a football player? Well, you've been cut or you've got a knee injury. Well, with new advances in medical technology, players are returning to action sooner than ever from surgery and with knees that are almost like new. Irv Cross reports on this medical breakthrough from inside the operating room.
Actually, the knee, in my opinion, was beautifully and wonderfully made. And the problem isn't with the knee, but what it's being subject to. The knee actually is a dynamic joint. It does unbelievable things as far as its ability to rotate, plant the foot, and shove off and transmit forces. Yet, when it's subject to forces beyond which it was intended for, you obviously got a problem.
And Walter Payton of the Bears had a problem. After 11,000 yards of starts and stops, Walter's knees were battered. Major surgery was not needed, but instead a new procedure was developed. A long scar was a trademark when a football player had knee surgery. But today there's a new procedure called arthroscopy. By inserting a tube in the knee instead of cutting the joint wide open, players are kept on the field and out of the training room. Here's the inside of the knee. The thigh bone and the shin bone are cushioned in the middle by soft tissue called cartilage. The bones are held together by rubber bands called ligaments. Here is a normal knee as seen by an arthroscope. But notice the frayed edges in a damaged knee. Dr. Johnson now performs and explains arthroscopic surgery on a man whose condition was similar to that of Walter Payton's. If you're uncomfortable about surgery, remember, this is what you were about to see.
So this is the tube that brings the sterile salt water down into the joint. And then we'll pick another site where we'll make a small puncture wound about opposite the tip of the kneecap. And then we have a tube with a obturator in it which enters the joint up under the kneecap area and then back down in. And through this tube we then place the arthroscope. And the arthroscope has a blue cable here that brings the light in by a fiber optic method, and then the light goes down into this tube and attached to an elaborate lens system to television so we can view this on television. And then we identify the problem, and in this joint it was degenerative arthritis with fragmentation of tissue. So what we want to do is we want to preserve as much of the patient's own tissue as we can, but balance that with the removal of fragments and shaggy pieces. So we utilize a motorized system, which is a rotating, cutting, suction device that can be placed in the joint, and then we're able to cut and suck and evacuate the degenerative and worn material from the joint, and therefore decrease the patient's inflammation and give him a chance for some natural repair.
The same procedure on Walter Payton got him back to the practice field in 2 weeks, and he's now off to his best start ever.
If there was something that could be done to enhance his longevity, then I think that's what he was looking for, and I think, appears to me, that's probably happened for him.
And you know, Irv, they've made great strides with arthroscopic surgery in that area. We've got a lot of late developments around the National Football League. Let's take you to the scoreboard now and get you up to date. The Vikings at the half are over the Detroit Lions. 14-0 is the count there. Billy Sims has broken the all-time Lion rushing record in that game. Seattle has gone ahead of Green Bay despite 2 touchdown passes. Lynn Dickey to James Lofton in that game, 79 and 20 yards. Eric Lane busts in from the 1 to put the Seahawks ahead. They go to the half there. Miami, this was the Greeks' upset special, and it may come to pass. The Patriots are playing a fine game. Tony Eason had the game tied at 10 on a touchdown pass. Then the Dolphins came back. Dan Marino's 21st touchdown pass of the season to Nat Moore, and the Dolphins missed the extra point. Chicago and Tampa Bay, 20-3. The Bears over the Buccaneers. How'd you like to be a linebacker and have Walter Payton coming around the right side, and he's your responsibility? Now, what are you going to do with Walter? He's going to come inside, he's going to get back outside, back inside, back outside, come right straight ahead. How are you going to nail it? Now, when Walter wants to come right at you, he just puts a hat on you and comes through you. He's got 2 touchdowns in that game, looking for 7 in a row of rushing for more than 100 yards. You're so conscious of him, he sets up the flea flicker, goes back to James McCann, and how do you do? There's Dennis McKinnon all alone in the end zone. 23 now, the Bears over the Buccaneers. Cleveland and Cincinnati, the Browns, a 60-yard field goal out of their punter, Steve Cox, in that game. Giants and the Eagles, 10-7. Tough break for the Eagles. Kenny Jackson out with a separated shoulder after he did this to the Giant defense. Now, this play was set up for a first down out of the shotgun. They get their first down, all right, and watch Jackson explode. The #1 draft choice out of Penn State just pulls away for the 83-yard touchdown, and that put the Eagles on top. Watch this blitz coming up here by the Giants. They do not expect to see Merrill move over from defensive end into the middle, and here he comes. Nobody picks him up, and he's got jaws down. That's why that Giant defense is ranked 3rd. This was the play that set up the Giant touchdown. Phil Simms threw a beauty. Lionel Manuel with a fine catch, and then Rob Carpenter from the 1, 10-7. Eagles with the lead in that game. Denver has just kicked another field goal by Carlos. They're over the Bills 23-0 at the half. John Elway off a scramble to the right, threw a 60-yard pass into the end zone, 52-yard touchdown pass to Steve Watson. Pittsburgh is shutting out Indianapolis right now, 13-0, and of course the game you're watching, and it's a dandy. Cardinals over the Redskins. We've seen a lot of good plays in that game, Art.
Big plays, but you know, when I was visiting the Cardinals earlier this week, they told me they could go deep on the Redskins, and they go right off the bat early in the ball game when Neil Lomax, looking for his speedster, number 81, Roy Green, connects with him for a 38-yard touchdown strike. That's what they want to do today, and they'll see more of it in the second half. Joe Gibbs told his Redskins not to take these Cardinals for granted because they are explosive. Theismann looking for Didier in the end zone for a 3-yard catch, and the Redskins are back on the board. But the Cardinal defense has played exceptionally well in the first half. Ben Curtis Greer from the backside runs down Theismann and sacks him here. They sacked him 3 times in the first half.
All right, and of course, remember, right after your game, we'll have the post-game show, all the scores and highlights, and then the America's Marathon coming your way on CBS. And right now, let's pause, and we'll go back to Dick Stockton after these messages from your local stations.
Tonight, will the Jeffersons' granddaughter strike a sour note with George?
What? I decided to break the sucking head.
And can Louise really keep her cool? Then, on Trapper John, Jackpot's moonlighting on the sly endangers his life and his position at the hospital.
I'm going to have to dismiss you.
It all happens tonight, Tuesday.
How different we are.
I kind of like it.
It's danger and intrigue when an American cowboy and a Russian ballerina fall in love. Can Lee Majors give her freedom?
This is CBS.
If you have the dubious honor of telling your boss the copier's broken, and you'd do anything to avoid facing him, tell your boss about the Panasonic high-speed copier. Its advanced electronics help prevent breakdowns, and it can reduce, enlarge, and make 45 copies per minute. So tell your boss it's time for a Panasonic.
See Panasonic copiers at Gold Office Products in Gaithersburg.
Boy, it's great to be on vacation. Yeah, and we never go on vacation without Hertz. I wouldn't risk my vacation with an unreliable rental-car company. And Hertz affordable weekly rates save me money. But people say Hertz is more reliable. But now, Hertz costs less money. Arnie, more reliable. Less money. Arnold, more reliable. Less money.
Hertz Affordable Florida, only $89 a week. Now the rent-a-car company that gives you more is less.
Less money. Well, they let anybody in this place.
Hertz, the #1 way to rent a car.
1983, Pontiac 6000 SCE. Year after year. 1984, Pontiac Fiero. One hot Pontiac after another. 1985, Pontiac Grand Am. And the excitement continues at your Washington area Pontiac dealers. Grand Am is here. Built with a feel for the road, a true driver's coupe. Craftsmanship and engineering excellence from America's road car company. See the brand new Grand Am and other new hot ones for $85 from Pontiac. Now at your Washington area Pontiac dealers.
Glenn Brenner, the one to watch, weeknights.
We're back here in St. Louis at halftime. In a surprise, the Cardinals lead the Redskins 10-7. And talking about surprises, Hank Stram, what surprises you the most about the game thus far?
The most surprising thing to me has really been the way the St. Louis Cardinals have been able to play defense. I really didn't think they were capable of playing as well as they played so far in this game. They've been super, and E.J. Jr. specifically as a linebacker has been outstanding. He's been blitzing a lot. He's almost intercepted a couple of balls. He's made some very good tackles, but overall, the defense has been super.
Hank, let me ask you this. Do you think the fact that the Cardinals only have a 3-point lead, despite the fact that they're playing so well defensively, is an advantage for the Redskins?
Well, I don't think it's ever an advantage for you to be behind, but I think the great thing, the redeeming quality, I think, of the Washington Redskins is the fact that they're a very resourceful team. They've been in this situation many, many times. It's a long way from being over.
Hank, why don't you explain on the chalkboard the big play for defense for the Cardinals, which thwarted a Redskin scoring drive, which would have taken the lead. This is our chalkboard. What happened on that big fumble play at the end?
All right, here we go. All right, here we have Lee Nelson right here on the outside, and he's going to blitz from the outside, and Jeff Bostic, the center, is going to try to block him. Here's the center. He's going to try to come back and block Lee Nelson. He does not get the job done, however. He gets there just a little bit late. Watch him. Watch now. Watch Nelson come across. Bostic tries to block him right here. He doesn't quite get the job done, and as a result, he knocks the ball loose, and the St. Louis Cardinals recover the fumble. It looks like Joe Theismann really was trying to get rid of the ball, but they ruled it as a fumble.
And that was a first and goal situation at the 5. Big defensive play of the game so far. The Cardinals lead 10-7, and we'll be back after this.
I loved everything about buying a new car. The looks, the smell. I loved everything but getting the financing.
Then I found out about GMAC financing. It's so easy, you can do it all right at your GM dealer.
Now I love everything about getting a new car.
Except choosing which one. Chevy, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, GMC truck, Buick, Cadillac.
Tell your GM dealer you want GMAC financing.
That's the easy part.
America's driving over. America's driving to Firestone.
Firestone's Drive Over Sale. Save up to 30% on tires, MasterCare service, batteries. Save on every size 721 steel belted radio from only $29.95. Plus, save on MasterCare awarded service, tune-ups, shocks, batteries, and more. Firestone's Drive Over Sale at Firestone now.
Firestone.
Never fails. The one thing most people overlook about their cars is the belts. You see, after 4 years, they can go any time. And since today's belts don't show wear, even I can't always tell when just by looking. So if your car's over 4 years old, replace the belts. And tell them you want Gates. Now, they've been keeping engines cool for over 60 years, even longer than me. Remember, after 4 years, they can go any time.
Dick Stockton and Hank Stram ready for the second half kickoff. Neil O'Donohue will boot it. Mike Nelms is back. A short kick once again. O'Donohue's not been kicking off long at all, and Nelms, penalty markers fly. Nelms carries it out to the 37-yard line, and I don't remember the last time I saw more yellow flags on the field. Hank?
No, it's surprising that time. The one dropped, and after the one dropped, then about 3 others dropped right after that.
Chuck Heberling is going to give us a holding or an illegal block call. But they're still talking it over. Amazingly enough, Hank, ball control team like the Redskins Cardinals have had the ball almost 5 minutes more in the first half than the Redskins.
Yeah, it's very deceptive, but again, let's listen to the call.
This is dramatic.
A 5-yard face mask against the kickers on the kickoff. We have holding on the receivers. They will offset, and we will re-kick it.
You're going to re-kick it because it was a face mask on one side, holding on the other.
Did you see Wayne Smith give him a little massage there at the side as he walked by?
Don't forget, coming up next, America's Marathon, Chicago. Should be quite a race. Olympic gold medalist Carlos Lopes in a terrific field in a 26.2-mile course around downtown Chicago. Hank Stram has run around downtown Chicago in his past in Purdue days, haven't you?
From a lot of people.
From a lot of people. All right. CBS begins. The coverage begins after football right here on CBS Sports. So Donahue will kick it over following the offsetting penalties, and Nelms, who had a good return that time, we'll see if he can match it or do better. 10-7, the Cardinals lead the Redskins. O'Donohue kicks it off a little longer this time, but Rich Mauti inside the 10-yard line instead of Nelms returns it, and Mauti is tackled just shy of the 25-yard line. And the tackle was made by Nico Noga from Hawaii, American Samoan, who has really won a spot on this club and has continued to impress.
And he runs a 40 and 4.5 for a linebacker. Isn't that something?
Probably learned it on Waikiki Beach.
Running in that sand, that's right.
That'll do it. So the Redskins are on offense, 1st and 10. We start the third quarter. E.J. Jr., the man you were talking about, and all over the place. What an outstanding defensive player.
Ben's terrific, and the last time we saw him play, he played a lot in the middle.
He says he'd like to settle down in one spot. Prefers the middle, but he's doing well outside. Riggins. Look at that extra effort. And Mark May says, don't get near John as he knocked one of the Cardinal defenders across the Mississippi River. Kurt Allerman and Curtis Greer make the tackle.
Benny Perrin got a shot that time. He really got a shot and took off like he was full of helium.
So John Riggins at it again. They're going to go with their meat and potatoes. Riggins gained 35 yards on 10 carries. That's all he did in the first half.
But he gets better as the game goes on. And so does the big offensive line of the Washington Redskins. Let's see if this is going to be the same case in this contest.
2nd down and 6 at the 29-yard line. Overcast skies again. Riggins carrying, looking for the hole. And Riggins is brought down 2 yards shy of a first down. The Cardinals just hung on for dear life to prevent the first down. Mark Duda, former University of Maryland star, a number 4 draft pick last year, made the tackle.
You know, the Redskins in the first half had the ball 13 times on 1st and 10. They threw the ball 8 times and ran it 5.
3rd down and 2. Riggins is going to go out of the game. 3rd and 2. Keith Griffin, rookie from Miami. We've been concerned about his fumbling lately, but he's run off some good plays, and the action he's seen gets the call. Here's Keith Griffin, the rookie, and close to a first down. Lee Nelson came up and made the slicing tackle, made first contact, and let's see where they spot the ball. And it looks like a Redskin first down. It is.
Lee Nelson's been around for a long time. He's a 9-year pro. Played his collegiate football at Florida State. He's 34. Doesn't cover nearly as well as he tackles, but he's a great force man and a great tackle.
And he's had to fight the odds all his life. He was a walk-on at Florida State and a 15th round draft choice with the Cardinals. 1st and 10 at the 35. Riggins is back in there. Calvin Muhammad in motion. Play action. Theismann looking for Muhammad. Calvin Muhammad with Wayne Smith downfield, and this time Calvin Muhammad makes the catch at the 32-yard line. A first down in Cardinal territory. 33-yard pickup.
See, he went in motion, talking about Muhammad. Went in motion, and Wayne Smith, 44, went with him. The ball was thrown right up on top beautifully. Smith looks over the inside shoulder, does not see the ball at all, go right over the top, and Muhammad makes the catch for the first down.
3 catches, 60 yards. He played at Toronto in the Canadian League, originally a 12th round draft pick by the Raiders. Art Monk goes in motion, 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line, and Riggins is hit at the line of scrimmage and maybe a loss on the play. The Cardinals just cut right in there. Slow getting up is the man who made the tackle on John Riggins, and that was Lee Nelson again. So Nelson really has spent a lot of time in the Redskin back there.
It looked like he was blitzing that time. He was very close to the line of scrimmage, and you talk about good anticipation and getting penetration across the line of scrimmage. That's exactly what he did.
No gain, 2nd down 10. Redskins at the Cardinal 32, trailing St. Louis 10-7 in the 3rd quarter. Here's Riggins again to the 30, 25-yard line, and appears to have another 1st down for the Redskins just beyond the 20. Benny Perrin and Lee Nelson make the tackle.
That was a great illustration of their counter play. They love that play. Again, Riggins takes a step to his left, then goes to his right, and you see Russ Grimm and Joe Jacoby pulling on the play. Everybody else blocks down, and he sees the room, takes advantage of it, and takes it on down for the 1st down.
The Diesel, John Riggins, believe it or not, has been to the Pro Bowl only once. That was in 1975. Kind of an injustice, you might say.
Not only that's not fair.
At the 21-yard line, Riggins again powers his way inside the 15-yard line. And as you pointed out, Hank, the Redskins are not about to abandon their plan, down by only 3 points, and it's worked to their advantage. Howard and Greer make the tackle, and they're relentlessly moving the ball.
That's what comes from winning. There's a good picture of Joe Gibbs on the sideline. And but there's a great illustration of being able to win as much as they have. They know exactly what got them there, and they're not going to deviate from the plan. They're just going to stay with it, keep sawing wood, and try to make something happen. And right now, they're in the groove, and they're making something happen up front. That's where it all takes place.
They're at the 14 of the Cardinals. Here's Riggins. Riggins to the 10, and another 1st down. Mark Duda makes the tackle. 1st and 10 at the 10-yard line for the Washington Redskins, who are trailing 10-7. Jim Hannafin and Joe Gibbs, they were together not only here in St. Louis, but in San Diego. And in fact, Gibbs was up in the press box there. He was sending the plays down to Hannafin at the sideline. It would flash him into Fouts, the quarterback, or Hart. 1st and 10 at the 10. Monk moves out, and here's the counter play to Riggins. Riggins inside the 5-yard line. Down to the 2. E.J. Jr. making the tackle.
There was a great illustration of the great balance of John Riggins that time. He spun around a little bit, ran backwards for a few steps, but he maintained balance and got as close to the goal line as he possibly could. He's on about the 3.5.
Riggins has gained 73 yards in the game, 38 on this drive here in the 3rd quarter. We have 8.5 minutes to play. Cardinal 10-7 lead is in jeopardy. Here's Riggins inside and into the end zone for the touchdown. John Riggins with a touchdown, his 9th of the season, and the Redskins have regained the lead.
They made it look easy.
In fact, they haven't had the lead. This is their first lead of the ball game. It's 13-10. The big play was a 33-yard pass from Theismann to Calvin Muhammad. John Riggins just barrels in. And now Mark Mosley, who has missed 1 conversion this year, will try to raise the lead to 4, and he does. And with 8 minutes and 24 seconds to go, penalty flag is down. With 8 minutes and 24 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Kick was good. If it's against the Cardinals, and it appears that it is, they'll mark it off before the kickoff.
Number 48, running into the kicker.
Running into the kicker. They'll mark it off. The kick is good, and so the Redskins go down the field with the second half kickoff, capped by a John Riggins touchdown. The Redskins lead it now 14-10.
It's called Grand Am. Grand Am. It's a true driver's coupe, and it's all new. Grand Am. better than that. It's from Pontiac.
Grand Air.
And you know what that means.
We build excitement.
This bud's to everyone who tackles the changes and challenges of that new promotion.
This bud's for you. There's no one else who does it quite the way you do. So this is you. For all you do.
Yep, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do. This bud's for you.
They've already done the hard part. All we have to do is vote.
The Redskins chewed up more than 6.5 minutes on that drive. John Riggins with the touchdown, and it's Washington 14, St. Louis 10.
But evidently, you know, it was a very simple halftime for them. They just said, listen, you know what we have to do? Let's get it done in the second half. We've got to do a better job of controlling the line of scrimmage. And they did on that last drive.
Jeff Hayes kicking off, and it's Pittman a yard in the end zone. Pittman returned 143 yards to start the game. This time he is stopped at the 24-yard line. John Riggins with a touchdown, his 9th of the season, and he is, of course, ranking among the top in the National Football League. Second to Jim Brown, actually tied with Franco Harris. Jim Brown, 106 touchdowns rushing in his outstanding career. But now the Cardinals will go on offense and try to get back in the game. And, of course, Hank Stram, they have the wherewithal to do that. Neil Lomax, 9 of 18 for 134 yards and 1 touchdown pass. Otis Anderson. Lomax looking for time and receivers, going to Greg LaFleur. Incomplete. Crowd was looking for, and the Cardinals were looking for a pass interference. They don't get it. Mel Kaufman defending on the play.
And Darrell Grant gave Neil Lomax a real shot, number 77, 6'1", 275. But he got good pressure, and right about the time he was throwing the ball, he gave him a shot, number 77. Not a penalty on the play, however. It was just a good, clean shot.
Redskin defense. Ranked first against the run, 25th against the pass coming into this ball game. Second down and 10 at the 24. Marsh and Green come out to the left side. There's Kelly at the top. Lomax under pressure, fires, completes the pass to Roy Green, but it's a short pass. And it's stuck to the 29-yard line, shy of a first down by about 5 yards. Rich Malott makes the tackle for Washington.
An awful lot of movement just to make about 5 yards on a play on a pass protection. Pass protection was good. Started to leak a little bit and threw a short pass to Roy Green over the middle.
Third catch of the game for Green, who was on the receiving end of a 38-yard touchdown pass on the first drive to give the Cardinals their lead.
You might wonder why they try to throw a ball like that underneath to him in that situation, but he's got such great running ability that could be a big play for him.
Trump Mitchell, Willard Harrell in there in the shotgun formation. 3 wide receivers. Pressure on Lomax from behind. Penalty marker down. The ball knocked in the air. He was in the act of passing, but the penalty flag is down. Tony McGee made the hit, the designated pass rusher, and Dave Butts recovered the fumble, but let's wait and see. Redskins say it's their ball, and who knows? Cardinal defense.
Offense is tripping. The penalty will be declined.
Penalties declined. It was a fumble, and the Redskins recovered. A big break for the Redskins. A fumble.
Lomax that time, you know, really had Roy Green wide open. Let's take a look at it now. Let's look at the left side of the screen. Look at the pressure. Look at McGee, number 78. He goes beyond, but by the time he goes by, he comes back from the backside. He knocks the ball loose. It was a good call. No question about it. It was a fumble.
Tony McGee gives the Redskins a prime opportunity now to advance their lead. 1st and 10 for the Redskins at the Cardinal 26. Art Monk comes in motion. 14-10 the score. Redskins lead, and here is Riggins. as he breaks a Kurt Allerman tackle and gets to the 22-yard line. Benny Perrin making the tackle. Let's check some scores around the National Football League. Minnesota leading Detroit 14-7 in the third quarter. Seattle now 10 points, 27-17 ahead of the Green Bay Packers. And the Giants and the Eagles are 10-10 in an NFC East game. Second down and 6 at the 22. Riggins again. Nowhere to go, and a loss on the play. It was E.J. Jr. who penetrated.
Did you see what a great job Riggins did that time of protecting the football? They got a shot at it, but he was fully aware. He was more concerned about making sure that he protected the ball as he started to fall than anything else. A lot of times you'll lose a ball in that situation, but he didn't.
You saw Mark McGrath come in the game along with Clint Didier. Third down passing package. 6:05 and running to go in the third quarter. Third down and 8 at the 24-yard line for the Redskins. Cardinal defense trying to hold here. Following that second turnover of the game, pressure on Theismann. His pass is caught to Calvin Muhammad inside the 15. Out of bounds at the 12. Jeff Griffin making the tackle, and Muhammad has been there when Theismann has needed him. That to the tune of 12 yards.
They had two people over on the right side, and they got Muhammad on Griffin, 35, 1-for-1. That's what he's looking for. Throws the ball in front of Jeff Griffin, number 35, and he takes the ball out of bounds and gets the necessary yardage for the first down. But there again, they're so concerned about his deep speed that they give him the yardage up in front, and that's what he did on the last play.
First and 10 at the 12. Riggins comes back in and gets the call going wide, and Kurt Allerman from behind makes the tackle for no gain. It'll be second down, but Theismann kept the drive alive with that third down play, and the Redskins are threatening again.
Allerman that time really came in from the middle linebacker position, got a good jump on the play going to his right, and made penetration and made the tackle. He's really doing an excellent job of protecting that middle area.
There's Jeff Moore in the ball game.
And they like to run an option play with that back on a linebacker. He has the option of running in or out. Let's see maybe if they try to run it here on this play with Jeff Moore.
Second down and 10. Theismann
they do.
Looking, fires, complete to Moore inside the 10-yard line. It'll be third down. Kurt Allerman makes the tackle on Jeff Moore.
Tackle by Allerman.
And in that kind of a play, Dick, the back, in this case, Moore, number 30, has the option to run either outside, inside, or a hook, depending on how the linebackers play. At that time, he took the safe route. He was open. He was hooked in that dead spot, and they got the ball to him right on the money.
Doesn't Bobby Beathard do a terrific job here? Jeff Moore, we saw Calvin Muhammad getting the new people, some of them rejects, who have made definite contributions to the Redskins this year. Third and 5 at the 7.
This would be a good time for a trap play, too, Dick. Good time for a trap. Nope.
Theismann under pressure is hit. Let's go with the ball, but it's in for the touchdown to Rick Walker. And the Redskins add to their lead, and Theismann got rid of it just as he was hit. A touchdown pass, 7 yards to Rick Walker. And for Walker, his first touchdown reception of the year.
And Walker, number 88. We'll see if we get a shot of him here.
Washington, number 3. Mark Mosley.
Really kind of pushed off, kind of smothered Wayne Smith, who was trying to cover on the play, number 44, who was not very large, and was able to make the play.
Conversion by Mosley is good, so Rick Walker with 5 catches on the year. That one for the touchdown, and with 4:23 to go in the third quarter, Washington 21, St. Louis 10. It's turned around.
Pontiac.
When you get a Pontiac Sunbird, you get a car that's practical and easy to own. When you get a Pontiac Sunbird, you get a car that's technically advanced and carefully built. And when you get a Pontiac Sunbird, you can also get a car with 150 turbocharged horsepower. If you're so inclined. Sunbird, only from Pontiac.
We build excitement.
Pontiac.
Should your child be before you buy a computer? High school, when he's planning a career? Elementary school,
when she can either fall behind or leap ahead. Or preschool, to give him a head start. When you buy is up to you, but Commodore makes the decision easier than any other computer. Because it's a 64, it's very powerful. Because it's Commodore, it's very affordable.
After the kickoff, the Redskins lead the Cardinals 21-10. And right now, let's take a look at that touchdown play on the chalkboard, Hank.
Well, here you are. Here we see Rick Walker going in motion to the outside. He goes down the field, makes a move, and then breaks to the inside off of Jeff Griffin, number 35, and makes the touchdown. Let's take a look at it. Here we go. There you see him. Breaks up the field, outside a little bit, turns inside, pivots inside. He gets Jeff Griffin, 35, moving to the opposite direction. As a result, he's wide open. Touchdown, Washington Redskins.
Jeff Hayes will kick off. The Redskins have run 16 plays this quarter, have scored 2 touchdowns. Cardinals only 3 plays, and they've turned it over once. Dump Mitchell. Here's Mitchell down the sideline. Penalty marker down as Mitchell brings it out to the 45-yard line. Rick Kane makes the tackle, but that yellow flag is there. What do you think that is?
Did you ever guess it was holding? They look like they got a tunnel over there, a little track. Every return has been to the right, and they've had great success running it to the right. It's a wonder that the Washington Redskins haven't done a better job of covering on that kick protection.
Holding on the return, number 57. First down.
It was Noga, so instead of the 45-yard line, the Cardinals will start from the 16 when we come back.
Time. It takes time to create quality. The quality taste of Budweiser. Time to select the choicest ingredients. For exclusive Beechwood aging, to brew the distinctively clean, crisp taste of Budweiser. Quality taste. That's what people want in a cold glass of beer, and this is the one they want. Somebody still cares about quality.
Pontiac. It's brand new. It's from Pontiac, and it's called Grand Am. The latest in Pontiac road car technology, Grand Am is a true driver's coupe. That means it's built for drivers who appreciate engineering excellence as well as exciting road machinery. You know who you are. Grand Am, new from Pontiac, only from Pontiac. We build excitement.
Pontiac.
Monday. Lacey is taken hostage. Can Cagney save her from an escaped killer?
All lady cops wear lace. You've got the green light to shoot.
Monday.
The Cardinals had the edge in time of possession in the first half, but not now. Turnover hurt the Cardinals, and the Redskins struck. They've scored 2 touchdowns here in the third quarter, 21-10 the score. First and 10, St. Louis on their 16-yard line. 4:11 to go in the third quarter. Lomax almost intercepted by Mel Kaufman on the pass intended for Greg LaFleur. We have not seen Lomax go deep at all in this third quarter because they haven't had the ball that much, Hank.
No, that's right. And but I think with the big play weapons that they have, and I think the other guy they have to go to more is Pat Tilley, and that'll help them get the ball deeper to Roy Green.
Time remaining in the third quarter. Victory for the Redskins would open up a 2-game lead, pending the result of the Washington or the Philadelphia-New York game in Dallas. This pass is caught by Marsh, the tight end, and that's what the Cardinals have to do is the first down to the 44-yard line, a 27-yard pickup. Dean and Coleman make the tackle. Marsh has really gotten better as a receiver, Hank.
Oh, yeah, and that ball was thrown like it was on a trolley line that time. They had a stun on with Butts coming in to the right side. Plenty of time to throw the football. Got it right out in front, right on the numbers, beautifully to Doug Marsh, number 80, and he's finally tackled there by Monty Coleman, number 51.
Doug Marsh has been a super blocker. Caught one pass against Dallas, but it was a touchdown. With 3:25 in running, Cardinals first and 10 on their 44-yard line. Trailing 21-10. Bill Gibbs told us the Cardinals have that big play capacity. Lomax trying to take advantage. He's going deep. Pittman, the intended receiver. The crowd wanted an interference call on Green and won't get it. Incomplete.
They didn't call it because I think they didn't have a chance to make the play. It was too far out in front, and that's what the call normally is. If you don't have a chance to make the play, they're not going to call it. So the ball was way out in front, and that's why they didn't call the little bump there by Darrell Green on Pittman.
Danny Pittman, former New York Giant who came off injured reserve last week. He's big.
I think the other thing that they're doing a better job of, they're spraying the ball a little bit. They have to continue to see if they can get the ball to Roy Green. But in conjunction with that, they got to get the ball to Marsh and also their other wide receivers, especially Pat Tilley.
Second down and 10 now. Lomax, quick toss. And Marsh looked like he was running before he had the ball. Third and 10.
Pass for Marsh, incomplete.
Had his hands upside down that time. You know what, Dick?
Third and 10.
I want to see you draw that one on the chalkboard. Disgust on Jim Hanifin's face. What did Joe Gibbs say, though? You won't meet a guy who's better liked. And he really has the players rally around him than Jim Hanifin.
Yeah, he's done a great selling job. It's very obvious. You know, we've seen him play some games here where his team was beaten so badly that you didn't think they'd ever come back the next week, and by golly, they'd come back the next week and win the next game. But that's a good selling job on the part of Jim Hanifin.
Third and 10 at the 44-yard line. So the Cardinals, after that big play, have stalled a bit. Let's see what Lomax does on third down. He has some room, and he's going to run it. Lomax still going, has the first down, out of bounds at the 44-yard line. The penalty marker down as well. Good ad-libbing by Neil Lomax, who last week also found the open spaces and ran against the Bears on occasion.
Yeah, I think sometimes, you know, you sell him on the idea that he has to stay in the pocket, that he gets away from doing what he can do real well, and that's run.
Unnecessary roughness, number 48, first down.
Ken Coffey, unnecessary roughness, and they'll march off 15 more.
Watch the stunt. They get a little confused. And then he takes off and he makes a decision, takes off and runs with it, and gets the yardage for the first down.
12-yard pickup and tack on 15 more at the 29, first and 10. Otis Anderson powering off the right side, gets inside to the 28-yard line. Mel Kaufman making the tackle with help from Neil Olkowitz. Otis Anderson just gaining now 52 yards in 14 carries. The only year he didn't gain 1,000 in his career was that strike-shortened 1982 season.
Second and 9.
That's how much time remains in the third quarter. Cardinals looking for a score to get back in this game. They led at halftime, 10-7. Green and Tilley come out to the left. Pressure, watch out. Monty Coleman on Lomax. Lomax down there to Anderson. He can't hold on to it. Oh, so close to Otis Anderson. Curtis Jordan defending on the play.
Boy, he threw that beautifully, too. Going to his left and throwing it back transcontinental across the field. Boy, that was really a shot by Lomax. And it looked like, watch him, he goes back in the pocket, gets a rush by Coleman, escapes the rush, 51, and throws the ball back across the field a little bit to Anderson. But I think what happened, the defensive back distracted his attention a little bit with his hand coming across his face, and I think that's why he dropped the football.
Jordan did exactly that. So with 2:02 remaining in the third quarter, third down and 9 at the 28-yard line. Cardinals not scored here in the third quarter.
We got a one-on-one on the right side.
With Pittman, quick pass to the left, and Roy Green makes a terrific catch. The Redskins say he trapped it, but they say it's complete, and it's a first down, I believe, inside the 20. Roy Green with a sensational catch, and the Cardinals are close to a first down. They may have to measure Hank, but a terrific play by a falling down Green.
Yeah, the linebacker was blitzing, and that opened the area there. He stopped right in between the linebackers, 51, Coleman, and also the defensive back, Washington, and made a diving catch, a beautiful catch by Roy Green.
And a first down. Four receptions for Roy Green, including a touchdown in this game. With 1:47 remaining in the third quarter, the Cardinals keep it alive.
You know, that was a great illustration, again, how much he wants to throw the ball to Green. He had a one-on-one on the outside with Pittman, and normally that's where you'd like to throw the ball, but he made up his mind in advance. He was going to try to locate Green and get the ball to him. In that case, he did.
Ball at the 19-yard line.
Now he's got a one-on-one with Green on the outside. Here he comes.
Lomax going up on top to Marsh, the tight end. Touchdown! Touchdown reception of the year for number 80.
They were concerned about Green, and Doug Marsh was one-on-one on the linebacker Mel Kaufman, 55. There you see it. Kaufman trying to cover Doug Marsh. Can't do it. Touchdown. Ball was thrown beautifully right over the top of the linebacker, and Doug Marsh made the catch.
Perrin holding for Neil O'Donoghue. The kick is good, and the Cardinals are back in the game. It's 21-17. Doug Marsh not only caught the touchdown pass, but he caught a 28-yarder to keep the drive going for the Cardinals on third down.
Pontiac. The editors of Road and Track call the Pontiac 6000 STE one of the world's 12 best enthusiast cars. Car and Driver call the Pontiac 6000 STE one of the 10 best cars of 1984. So why did we make it even better for 1985? Just because. The sensational 6000. Only from Pontiac. We build excitement.
Pontiac. What'd you get? I got a Big Mac. Where's mine? You said you weren't hungry. I said that. Too bad, too, because it's irresistible. I can't wait to sink my teeth into this big, mouth-watering... Hey, Lester, you know the trick is for you to talk while I eat. Everybody's seen that trick. Let's see if you can talk while I eat. That's no trick. Trick? You want to see a trick? I'll show you a trick. I'll get my own Big Mac, and I'll sink my own teeth into it. You just sit there and sit in my seat, you big dummy.
One of the improved players, according to Jim Hannafin, Doug Marsh, who caught the touchdown pass there. So with all the weapons, Roy Green, Tilley, Otis Anderson, there's also Doug Marsh. And it's a 21-17 game, Hank. The Redskins lead has been cut to 4 with 1:18 to go in the third.
And the great thing they're doing right now, they're spraying the ball around a little bit more, and that's very effective.
Short end over end kick. Nelms at the 10-yard line, straight ahead, still going, and a great return by Nelms out to the 38-yard line. There's a penalty flag down. Let's wait and see as the emotions are getting heated up here. Willard Harrell made the tackle on Mike Nelms. And let's wait and see what this penalty is. Apparently it's against the Redskins. Illegal block. They'll mark it off. On the chalkboard, Hank, why don't you show us what happened on that touchdown play?
Well, here's what transpired right here. Here's Doug Marsh. Marsh right here in this position. He goes down the field, and Mel Kaufman, the linebacker, is covering him man for man. He gets into the end zone. Kaufman cannot cover it, and that's what happened on the play. It was a touchdown. Here we go. Let's take a look at it. There you see Marsh coming off the line of scrimmage. Kaufman, 55, trying to cover. And here, right here, when you're even, we used to say you're leaving. And that's what he's doing here. He's leaving him. Goes right into the end zone for the touchdown. The ball is thrown beautifully over the top. Touchdown, Doug Marsh, and 6 points for the St. Louis Cardinals.
First and 10 at the 28 for the Redskins with 1:07 to go. Following the penalty, John Riggins goes up the middle, crosses the 30 to the 32-yard line, and David Galloway makes the tackle. Under a minute to go in the third quarter. 21-17, the Redskins getting their toughest battle since they started their 5-game winning streak. The Redskins lost to the Dolphins and the 49ers and have won on 5 in a row. Second down, 6. Play action. Theismann out of the pocket, fires, and it's caught. Terrific catch by Art Monk. Art Monk with a great catch. Lionel Washington making the tackle. And it's another first down for the Redskins at the 43-yard line.
That was a sensational catch by Art Monk, number 81. Anytime that you're running across the field and have to reach down low to make a catch in stride, boy, you know you've done something special when you make that kind of a catch.
The injured Redskin is Jeff Bostic, the center. The Redskins have had a slew of injuries all season. And we'll be back after this timeout.
Give me a light. A Bud Light.
If you just ask for a light beer, you never know what you'll get.
And I'll have a light. A Bud Light.
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Give me a light.
Ask them to bring out their best.
Bud Light.
Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
When you rent one-way from most car rental companies, there are strings attached, like the drop-off charge at the end of the line, the one you pay to help get their car back. At National, there are no strings or mileage charges, because we have a whole fleet of cars available for one-way rentals, and they're just $10 a day more than our regular low daily rates. So the choice is yours. Rent one way or the other. National Car Rental, the way to go one way.
Jeff Bostic is still down while the St. Louis crowd performs and practices their version of the wave, but Bostic is shaken up and has been on his back ever since we've been away. Let's right now take a look at scores around the league, Hank, starting with this one.
Minnesota 14-10 over Detroit in the fourth quarter.
Both those teams are 2-5 in the NFC Central.
And look at the Giants in Philadelphia, still tied in the fourth quarter, 10-10. Oh, look at this. Denver, 30-0 over the Buffalo Bills in the third quarter. Boy, they're hot. And look at Miami, 30-17 over New England in the third quarter.
They could go 8-0 if they win.
Seattle, still hot, 27. Green Bay, 17 in the third quarter.
Well, for the second week in a row, a stretcher is brought on the field to take an injured Redskin off. Last week, it was Ricky Smith. Of course, Bostic shaking his head. This is a tough injury.
Boy,
last week.
Oh, excuse me, Dick. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying Ricky Smith suffered a concussion and was hospitalized, but this is a knee, huh?
It looks like it might be. And Jeff Bostic is such a valuable member of that offensive line. He's the hub of the whole thing. He's been a durable performer, a great performer. And, boy, when you lose him, you really will miss him and lose a great player.
And the Redskins will move Russ Grimm over to center and then bring in Huff at left guard. They were thin. The Hogs have been as great as they've been. They're kind of thin in the offensive line to begin with. John Riggins out for the moment, and so they're going to have to take Jeff Bostic off. He is Joe Bostic's younger brother, and I'm sure that Joe feels awfully bad about that right now over at the Cardinals side.
Yeah, it really is. That's a tough injury. That's too bad.
We have a couple of more scores for you. And Seattle lead has been cut to 3. Seahawks 27, Green Bay 24 in the third quarter, and the Chicago Bears in a runaway over Tampa Bay 30-3.
Surprised at that. I thought maybe the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would play them a little tougher this time.
Peyton has scored 2 touchdowns for Chicago. So there goes Jeff Bostic. 14 seconds remaining in the third quarter. He's the smallest of the Hogs at 6'2", 258. He and his brother Joe.
Well, they got him as a free agent in 1980, and he has really been a tower of strength for them in their offensive line.
While this is going on, I think the Cardinal fans must have done the wave 35 times.
Their arms are going to be sore by the time they get through with this. Either that or else they got plaster of Paris in their armpits and they can't get them back down.
Now the clock runs, and we're not going to get the play off. And that is the end of the third quarter with the score, the Redskins 21, Cardinals 17. We now pause for a word from your local station.
See explosive Keith Myers lead 8th-ranked Ohio State against Big Ten rival Wisconsin, or UCLA against Arizona State. College football next Saturday on CBS Sports. This is...
Fred, spoke to Blake. If we can lower the bid, it's ours. I need your best number.
I'll call you right back.
I knew you could do it, pal.
Alex Cellular Car Phone Service lets you do business anywhere, anytime, which frees you up for other things.
Hi, sweetheart. Just want to say goodnight. Tell Mommy I'm on my way home.
Alex, for the business of life.
It's a busy world we live in. It can take your breath away. When the going isn't easy, there's an easy going way.
Welcome to TWA, to a business class with more space and comfort, to a flight with more from each of us to you.
So relax and catch the feeling. Take off and get away. You're gonna like us, TWA.
1983, Pontiac 6000 STE. Year after year. 1984, Pontiac Fiero. One hot Pontiac after another. 1985, Pontiac Grand Am. And the excitement continues at your Washington area Pontiac dealers. Grand Am is here. Built with a feel for the road. A true driver's coupe. Craftsmanship and engineering excellence from America's road car company. See the brand new Grand Am and other new hot ones for $85 from Pontiac. Now at your Washington area Pontiac dealers.
Don't be a wimp. Change your looks and your life. Monday at 6.
There is Joe Bostic, who looks concerned. His brother Jeff carried off the field.
And now I think the Redskins have to be a little concerned about this first snap, too. They've got a new center and a quarterback. The quarterback's got to hang in there tough to make sure he doesn't get a fumble.
Riggins, a yard, and that's all. Bubba Baker makes the stop. Torn ligaments is the report on Jeff Bostic. Torn ligaments. This is the start of the fourth quarter. Dick Stockton along with Hank Stram at Busch Stadium. The Cardinals led 10-7 at halftime, trailing 21-17. They were down 21-10 before Lomax hit Doug Marks with a 19-yard touchdown play to bring him closer.
There's so many teams playing in odd spacing with a man on the nose of the center. Losing a center like Jeff Bostic is really a tough loss.
Jeff Moore is in the game replacing Riggins. Second down and 9. Theismann drills it to Calvin Muhammad. Incomplete. Defended by Wayne Smith on the play.
Muhammad does not catch short stuff nearly as well as he catches stuff going away. He does not have as much control of himself as he does when he's running deep patterns or crossing patterns, because he takes a little time to generate speed, and he's a little slow getting his head around, and that's why he didn't locate the ball that time.
But you know what? He plays 3 musical instruments.
He does?
Yes.
And what's that got to do with it?
I thought you were going to say to me, what are they? I don't know the answer to that either. Third down and 9 at the 44. Didier in motion. Theismann with time, going up on top, quickly Didier. He's got it. And a first down to the 20-yard line of the Cardinals. Bill Kay makes the tackle. So Theismann hits Didier, 36 yards, and the Redskins are doing business again.
Boy, you talk about a beautiful throw that time. Bill Kay is covering on the play. Didier is running down the seam of the zone.
Gain of 36.
Right down between the hash mark and the numbers. He makes the catch over the shoulder. Really, Bill Kay, number 22, has got him covered pretty well, but the ball was thrown just perfectly right over the top. You can't stop the perfect pass.
First and 10 at the 20. So the crowd quieted down considerably. Here's Riggins. And Riggins is thrown for a loss by Curtis Greer. Well, he got right inside that offensive line and wasn't going to let go.
The one thing that you have to do when you run like Riggins runs, you have to make sure that you keep a head on everybody on the line of scrimmage, keep him on the line of scrimmage, prevent penetration so John can read the blocks. The minute you get penetration, you're out of business, and that's what happened on the last play. Curtis Greer popped through there in good shape, and John had no chance to make any kind of an adjustment on the run.
Loss of 5 yards, 2nd and 15. As Don Bro and Joe Gibbs going back and forth on the sideline. Back at the 25. Go to Riggins again. Takes 4 Cardinals that time to bring him down at the 22-yard line. Gain of 3. Benny Perrin and Curtis Greer combined to make the play on Riggins. Got that bad back. It's not healed. He only practices a few hours a week. And he's always listed as probable with the bad back, but he continues to carry it.
Well, you know, the great thing about this stage of the season, the back that runs the ball as much as he does, he needs the rest during the course of the week so he's ready on Sunday. Joe Gibbs and his coaching staff are smart enough to know that, and he's ready to dance on Sunday, and that's what's important.
Especially the way he's run.
That's right.
The Redskins are going to call a timeout, so they use one of their 3 right here. With 12 minutes to go in the 4th quarter, the Redskins leading 21-17 face a 3rd and 12 when we come back in a moment.
The Prelude. Some people like to drive it wide open.
In this uncertain and bewildering world of personal computers, the Tandy 2000 stands apart. In power, speed, and graphics, the Tandy 2000 is clearly superior. For service, support, and software, Tandy is clearly superior. Available exclusively at Radio Shack Computer Centers. Compare. You too will immediately recognize Tandy technology, service, and support are clearly superior.
The Redskins and Joe Gibbs face a 3rd and 12 at the 22-yard line, and the one thing they'd like to come out of this at least would be a shot at 3 points.
They might run the dash play. They like to run that. They're on the left hash mark. They got a lot of room on their right. They like to run it to the right. Dash play, meaning that you go back in the pocket like you're going to throw from the pocket and then roll to your right away from the inside pressure. Let's see if they perhaps might want to do that. They got Monk on the right side, and they like to get him one-on-one. Let's see if they try it.
They're a perfect 4 for 4 on 3rd down conversions this half, the Redskins are. Jeff Moore in the game, number 30. Whittier in motion. Theismann tipped at the line and almost intercepted. It was Thomas Howard who almost picked it off.
That's why the dash play would have been so effective, because you could roll away from that inside pressure, and that's what I thought sure he would do, but he didn't.
You've done this before, haven't you?
On occasion.
Well, that would have eliminated. There you see Jim Hart next to Joe Gibbs. That would have eliminated someone getting a hand in the face. But here's Mark Mosley in right now. This will be a 39-yard attempt. Darrell Grant will be the snapper. Normally it's Jeff Bostic. Mosley has not missed from inside 42 this year. The kick is up. The kick is good. And the Redskins have a 7-point lead. So Mark Mosley is now 12 for 12 inside 42 yards. 12 of 15 on the year. And as we look at Joe Gibbs' reaction, normally he's a cool customer after the field goal. Gibbs watching Mosley's kick. That's it.
A few years ago, this Honda was bought by Mrs. Yokelson of Yonkers, New York. She and her husband both drove the car and were very impressed. That's why a few years later, Mr. Yokelson bought his own Honda. Now the only thing they have to share is the garage.
This Halloween, don't just ask for a light beer. Treat yourself to the best.
Bud Light!
Bud Light, because everything else is just a light. Make this Halloween a Bud Light Fright Night. Look for this display and mug offer at participating retailers. Bud Light, the less filling light beer with a first name in taste.
Wednesday, an innocent boy or her sister's killer.
Decide, young lady, this family or that murder.
Carl Malden, a world premiere with Intent to Kill. Wednesday.
Mark Mosley's 39-yard field goal giving the Redskins a 24-17 lead in the ball game. Each quarterback has thrown 2 touchdown passes. There's Stump Mitchell ready to receive the kickoff by Hayes with 11:51 remaining. Very short end-over-end kick, and Mitchell bobbles it. And Mitchell still doesn't have it, and he is ganged up on the 16-yard line. The short kick, and Mitchell just couldn't get a handle on it. Well, tonight on CBS, except on the West Coast, it'll start with 60 Minutes and Campaign 84, the presidential debate, followed by a CBS News analysis, then the Jeffersons and Trapper John M.D. Now, for those of you on the West Coast, you'll see it this way. Campaign 84, the debate, followed by CBS News analysis, and then 60 Minutes, followed by the Jeffersons and Trapper John M.D. That's all tonight on CBS. Time remaining. 1st and 10 at the 17. Cardinals have done well in the final quarter, as you see. Play action on a draw play attempt to Anderson going deep for Roy Green, and Green is there. He scores to the 20. Touchdown!
Talk about a mismatch that time. They had Tony Peters covering Roy Green, 81, and that's the match you'd like to get. They got it, and it's a touchdown for the St. Louis Cardinals.
O'Donohue trying to tie the game. The kick is up, and the kick is no good. It hits the goalpost and bounces off, no good. And the Redskins still lead at 24-23, and it brings back memories, Hank, of the first game we did this year when the Packers beat the Cardinals by 1 point. O'Donohue's mixed conversion, the difference.
Yeah, he looks like he tries to guide the ball through there instead of kick it. Let's take a look at the touchdown again. Roy Green, number 81, lined up on the right side of the formation. A hand fake to Anderson, and then he just lets the ball go right down the middle. And Tony Peters, number 23, is trying to catch it. No way he's got that kind of speed. That's a mismatch from the very beginning. They had time to throw the ball, and the rest is history. He changes the scoreboard, gets 6 on the board, and the St. Louis Cardinals score again.
And here is Lomax's reaction. This was an 83-yard touchdown pass, longest of the year for Neil Lomax. That was the joy, then the conversion miss, and a bit of despair.
Back and handle the hairpin at Sears Point. The S's at Lime Rock. The straightaway at Daytona. Even the loop in Chicago.
You can't be calculating without a calculating mind.
Now what? I don't know what they're doing it fast.
Canon's 350 makes 30 copies a minute.
They're doing it in color.
The connivers?
Canon 350 can zoom to precise image sizes and remember them.
They got it in sets already. Already? They're finished. If they're finished, we're finished.
Canon's NP350, the copier with the calculating mind. For more information, call toll-free 1-800-OK-CANON.
The crowd is not very pleased with Neil O'Donohue right now. He missed his second conversion of the year. The first one cost him a game against Green Bay in the opener of the year, Hank.
Yes, he's got to feel badly about it. Nobody feels worse than he does about the situation, but it's a fact. That's what's happened.
Here's the kickoff. It's short, and Mike Nelms moving up to the 10-yard line to receive the kickoff. Hit once, hit again at the 21-yard line. Well, next Sunday on the NFL Today, a profile of Los Angeles Rams quarterback Jeff Kemp. Hank and I saw him last week. Impressive in the victory over the Saints. The Rams have won 3 out of the 4 since Kemp has started for Vince Ferragamo.
You talk about a young quarterback emerging as the #1 guy for the Los Angeles Rams. He's done exactly that. He was super last week.
Then many of you will see an NFL doubleheader featuring the Atlanta Falcons against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then 49ers-Rams, key showdown. First and 10 at the 26-yard line for the Redskins, who still lead in the ball game, 24-23. A lot of time to go, 11 minutes, 23 seconds. Here's Riggins, and Riggins gets up to the 29-yard line, a gain of 3. Kurt Ollerman and David Galloway bring down Mr. Riggins. Roy Green has caught 5 passes in the game for 148 yards, 2 for touchdowns. He went into the game as the leading receiver yardage-wise in the NFC.
How about his remark yesterday? We asked him if he spent a lot of time with Lomax during the offseason. He says Lomax has got a strong arm, but he couldn't reach me from Portland. that's where he was last summer.
Neil was in Portland, Roy was in St. Louis. That's a long pass. Second down and 6. Riggins finds a hole, and Riggins may have the first down. And apparently he does at the 36-yard line. Perrin and Greer make the tackle.
This is going to be a very important time for the keep-away thing that we talked about earlier. They've got to maintain possession, take a lot of time off that clock, because St. Louis, as dangerous as they are, explosive as they are offensively, they can score anytime they get their hands on the football, which has been illustrated here this afternoon.
Well, as you said at the top, the Cardinals had to strike through the air and strike early, and they did to take a lead. They came back with the big pass, trailing, and now the Redskins want to use the clock. Riggins has gained 90 yards and 27 carries. 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Riggins is hit at the line of scrimmage. Kurt Ollerman and Benny Perrin make the tackle.
Galloway got penetration that time, number 65, and he's playing like gangbusters in the middle of that defensive line, number 65.
David Galloway and Benny Perrin, tough players, along with Kurt Ollerman.
And you know, Benny Perrin was an All-American high school quarterback
at Alabama. Steve Cox kicked a 60-yard field goal, an AFC record in that ball game, the Cleveland-Cincinnati game. Cox for the Browns. Second and 10. Monk in motion. Ball at the 36. Fumble. And Theismann recovers. Now, we talked about the fact that Bostic had to come out and Grimm moved to center. And a problem there, you mentioned it, the communication between the new center and the quarterback, which you pointed out when Bostic went down.
Yeah, you got to be very careful with that. And the quarterback's his responsibility to make sure he hangs in there just a little bit longer to make sure that he doesn't have a problem with a new center.
Third down and 11. And you talk about the Cardinals' defensive moment. They had one in the first half. They're up against it here.
He better roll out here again pretty soon, because I think he can do that pretty well.
He drops straight back. Theismann fires, complete to Calvin Muhammad at midfield, and a first down for the Redskins. 15-yard gain, and he hit Muhammad as he's had done so many times in this game.
Boy, Muhammad coming off the line of scrimmage against Jeff Griffin again, 35. He leans on him a little bit, breaks away. Look at the separation after he makes his cut to the inside because they were so close together. The ball was thrown beautifully by Theismann, right on the money, and Calvin Muhammad makes the catch.
He caught 5 against Dallas last week, has 5 in the bag this week, and he has caught some big catches, big plays. Mark McGrath replaces him, number 83, first and 10. The ball just shy of midfield. 8:05 to go. Riggins carries and is dropped for no gain. David Galloway and Benny Perrin. That's a combination we've mentioned many times today.
Perrin really is a very alert, has great anticipation, really a great player back in that secondary.
Washington at their own 49.
Best all-round defensive back, calls the signals back there.
He's a little lighter, should be a little faster after that haircut he got yesterday.
Willard Harrell did a number on a few of his teammates. Second down 10, 7.5 minutes to play. 24-23, the Redskins lead the Cardinals. Here's Riggins again. Riggins looking for extra room and is tripped up. He might have gone all the way for a first down if he hadn't avoided the trip by E.J. Jr. It'll be 3rd and about 5, Hank.
Well, they love to run that counter play. They call it counter tray. And Jacobian Rush Grimm. In this particular case, it was Huff. Watch 54 come into the picture. Watch him trip him up right now. Got a hand on the foot and tripped him up. E.J. Jr. all the way from the right side came over to the left side to make the play. He's been sensational back out here this afternoon.
3rd and 5. Moore in for Riggins. And now another timeout. The Redskins now are left with one timeout here in the second half, Hank.
But evidently there was miscommunication. They're sending the plays in, and evidently there was a miscommunication on the signals, and he was wise to call a timeout. You don't want to blow a play in this situation right now. They got to keep possession of the ball, and they can't afford to make a mistake and blow that possibility.
The Redskins with a one-game lead over the Cowboys, Giants, and these Cardinals. A victory for St. Louis. Depending on what Dallas and the Giants do, we could have a very big crowd at the top in the NFC East. If Washington wins, however, they will maintain that leverage and a lead. Next week, NFL schedule looks like this. These Cardinals will be in Philadelphia against the Eagles, who are battling the Giants. Tampa Bay with James Wilder, a terrific all-purpose back against Kansas City. New Orleans and Cleveland. Atlanta and Pittsburgh. It's a double-header week for CBS. Here are the other games, Hank.
Yeah, San Francisco versus the Rams. And, of course, the big story with the Rams is the fact that Jeff Kemp is playing so well. And, of course, Washington and the New York Giants, that's always a bitter rivalry and a great contest.
Redskins started their 5-game winning streak against the Giants after they lost their first 2.
See if they try to get the ball to Jeff Moore here on that option pattern I talked about earlier.
3rd and 5. McGrath to the top. Riggins incomplete, or check that. Theismann incomplete to Art Monk. 4th down. And now Jeff Hayes will have to kick it away with 6:33 remaining in the 4th quarter.
Jeff Griffin has been worked on pretty good here this afternoon, but you have to give him a lot of credit. He made a great play right here. Watch Jeff Griffin, number 35. He's with him. You can't cover a guy any better than that. The ball comes through, and he knocks it right out with his left hand. And a lot of cases, the right arm is on his back, but in that case, it wasn't.
Jeff Griffin, who's fractured his left forearm 4 times in the last 20 months. Stump Mitchell back. Hayes to punt. Try to block it. They miss. High kick. Mitchell will let it bounce. And it bounces at the 20. It was touched, I think, by a Redskin at the 23. And I think that's where the Cardinals will take over, trailing the Redskins 24-23 with 6:23 remaining.
You want to win, you got to practice stopping Sarinsky. Murphy, you're Sarinsky. You dog me, Sarinsky.
You guys getting the hang of this?
Bring out your best.
Your best deserves the best.
Bud Light.
The less filling light beer with a first name in taste.
Sarinsky's got some moves, huh?
Brad, where are we going?
To Sears to get you a new battery.
A diehard
Uh-huh. And it's the lowest price of the season, just $49.99 installed.
Oh, thank you.
And I saved $20.
Okay, Big Saver. How about tires?
Well, Sears has the biggest savings ever on weather-wise steel-belted radials, low as $34.99 installed.
Wow.
You're pretty peppy.
It's confidence, Brad. Sears installs it.
There's more for your life at Sears.
Tuesday.
You're going to be a very rich man, Howard.
The doctor's made a job offer he can't refuse on ER.
You're kidding. I heard it with my own eyes.
At a special time Tuesday.
6 minutes, 23 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. The Redskins lead the Cardinals 24-23. Cardinals have all of their timeouts. The Skins just won. Dick Stockton and Hank Stram in a thriller here in sold-out Busch Stadium.
Excitement, a lot of excitement in the air here.
Neil Lomax, who's thrown 3 touchdown passes, 2 to Roy Green, is out to the right. Otis Anderson trying to turn the corner. He does. Good gain by Anderson. Curtis Jordan knocks him out of bounds. For an NFL Today report, let's check in right now with Brent Musburger in New York.
And Dick, the Eagles have gone ahead of the Giants in the Meadowlands on this touchdown pass out of the shotgun. Jaworski steps into Hoover, and he's got him. And now the Eagles lead the Giants by 7 points. Time running out in that game at 17-10. Let's go back to Dick.
Thank you, Brandon. An Eagle victory will even their record at 4-4, and the same with the Giants at 4-4. Cardinals have an opportunity, 2nd down and 1, following the 9-yard pickup by Otis Anderson. They go to O.J. again, and Anderson has a first down, breaks a couple of tackles at midfield. 16-yard gain for Otis Anderson. Ken Coffey on the tackle. The Cardinals at midfield with 6 minutes to go.
And that's nothing but a pick play. The left guard, Terry Steve, tries to get position on Grant. He overruns the play. Anderson runs behind the block in the seam right up the middle and makes a great run and picks up the necessary yardage for the first down.
75 yards for Otis Anderson. Missed extra point by O'Donohue. The difference in this game. The Redskins by 1. Lomax in trouble. Runs it out of bounds. He saved a sack and actually ended up picking up a yard or 2. Monty Coleman penetrated deep into the backfield of the Cardinals.
Well, he was breathing down his neck. I thought sure he was going to overtake him as fast as Monty Coleman is, but there's a great illustration, I think, of how well and how fast Lomax can run, especially when somebody like him is chasing him.
All of a sudden, you gain a few seconds of speed. 2nd down and 7, so a 3-yard pickup for Neil Lomax. Came into the game 2nd in the NFC in passing. Thrown for 3 scores. Ball at the 47. Stump Mitchell is in the backfield for the Cardinals now. Lomax up the middle to Marsh. First down to the 30. Green and Curtis Jordan, good for 17 yards to Doug Marsh.
They were so concerned about the outside people that time. Marsh had single coverage inside. A big hole, ran a good pattern, a crossing pattern, and makes the catch, and they have good field position with another first down.
I got the feeling you were calling Marsh's name before the play was over.
I wonder why. It looked like he was going to be open.
Lomax has thrown for 295 yards. 1st and 10. Cardinals threatening at the Redskin 30. 4:37 to go. A reverse to Marsh, and that is foiled by Monty Coleman. That backfires. The reverse to the tight end Marsh.
Anderson blew the play. He ran the wrong course, I think, that time and tipped it, and that's why the execution of the play was not very good. It looked like he should have been faking inside to hold people, but instead he went to the outside and attracted some attention, and the mesh between the quarterback and the reverse man was not very good.
2nd down and 14. You watch the clock as it continues to run. Keep in mind, O'Donohue, despite missing the conversion, has made good on many long field goals this year. Right now they may be just out of range. Lomax firing, and It's almost intercepted by Darrell Green. Pat Tilley. And the Cardinals are very lucky. Right now, here's Brent Musburger with an NFL Today report. Brent?
Dick, we've got 3 minutes left down in Tampa Bay, and the Bears are going to win one easily. Here's Jim McMahon's third touchdown pass of the day to a youngster, Brad Anderson, 45 yards. Incidentally, a moment ago, I said that game was the Meadowlands. It is in Philadelphia, and the Eagles lead it by 7. Back to Dick.
Brent, if anyone knows, you know. If you said the Meadowlands, that's probably where they're playing. Third down and 15 at the 35.
Something in the middle should be open.
Lomax looking. He's going to run it. Inside the 25-yard line, and now the Cardinals are indeed in field goal range. A 13-yard pickup. O'Donoghue's going to come on to try to give St. Louis the lead.
The biggest thing that O'Donoghue has to do now in this particular situation, Dick, he's got to forget. He's got to have the capacity to forget what he's done in the past. He's just got to concentrate on kicking his ball like he can, and he'll pump it through there. The worst thing a kicker can do is worry about what happened the last time he tried to kick.
A 40-yard attempt. O'Donoghue has kicked 5 field goals over 43 yards this season. Perrin is holding. He's 1 for 2 today. The kick is up. The kick is no good. It's off to the right. And the Redskins hold on to the 1-point lead.
He's punching the ball, Dick. I mentioned it throughout the game. He's not following through. He's not really attacking the ball. He's punching it, trying to aim it through there. He's so concerned, which means he was still bothered by what happened the last time he missed a kick. And when that happens to a kicker, boy, he's in trouble.
A 40-yard attempt. Comes up empty.
See how fast his head comes up, Dick? He punches the ball. He does not get any follow through. He tries to get English on it, but that's not what's going to get it through there. The kick is the important thing. He just did not attack the ball like he should.
Well, now the Cardinal defense has to get the ball back for the offense, and the Redskins will try to chew up the clock. Riggins on first down carries it out to the 26-yard line. Gain of 3. 2:45 and running remaining in the ball game. Kurt Ollerman and Mark Duda make the tackle. And right now what the Cardinals hope to do, they do call a timeout. They want to get the ball back. So they have 2 timeouts remaining. Seattle leading Green Bay at still a tight ball game. 30-24 in the 4th quarter.
Green Bay is very capable.
Minnesota leading Detroit by 1. Also in the 4th quarter. Look at New England coming back against Miami. They were way behind, Hank.
Yeah, they've done that several times this year. Look at Pittsburgh, 13-10 over Indianapolis in the 4th quarter.
A struggle after beating the 49ers last week for the Steelers. Denver trouncing Buffalo to the tune of 30-0 in the 4th quarter. So right here, the Cardinals call a timeout. Jim Hannafin and his crew now are left with 2. And with 2nd and 7, the whole key now, Hank, Cardinals cannot allow the Redskins to get a couple of first downs.
And they have to use the timeouts, too. They have to make sure they stop the clock if they can slow them down at all on first down to make sure they have plenty of time to get the ball back and have an opportunity to score.
Cardinals have played well. The Redskins, of course, coming in as the strong leader in the division, winning 5 straight, but getting all they could handle in this game. But it's been a bad luck game for the most part for Neil O'Donoghue, who missed a conversion that would have tied the game and just missed a field goal that would have put the Cards in front.
You really have to feel badly for O'Donoghue because that's a tough situation to be in.
2nd and 7 at the 26 now. Calvin Muhammad in motion. Here's Riggins. He's tripped up. Loss of a yard on the play. Back to the 25. And now the Cardinals will call another timeout. They are left with 1, but it'll be 3rd down for the Redskins.
Yeah, that's a good call. They still have 2 because they get another one at the 2-minute warning. So they still have 2 timeouts remaining, but that was a good move.
Neil Lomax with 3 touchdown passes, 2 to Roy Green, 1 for 83 yards. Joe Theismann has thrown 2 touchdown passes. But it seems, Hank, that when Theismann has needed a big play, passing-wise, it's been Calvin Muhammad on the receiving end on third downs today.
You have to give Bobby Beathard and the Washington Redskin organization a lot of credit for being as precise as they are as far as getting new talent in. A situation like getting Calvin Muhammad at the timely time that they did was very, very important, and he's going to generate an awful lot of offense for them as they go along the rest of the season.
.239 remaining in the fourth quarter. Theismann, 15 of 27, 224 yards, and 2 touchdown passes. Third down and 8. Theismann's pass, incomplete, intended for Art Monk. It's fourth down, and the Cardinals will get their hands on the ball again.
Well, there's a lot of time left with 2:35.
Jim Hannafin, who has lived through the rebuilding years on the St. Louis Football Club. Jeff Hayes will punt. Stump Mitchell at the 45, his own 45.
You know, the other thing I would do, I would make sure that I would have a personal visit with O'Donohue in this situation to make sure that you try to recapture the confidence that he's lost and talk to him in case he has to kick another field goal, but he's in a better frame of mind than he's been.
Booming punt by Hayes. Back to the 30 it goes Stump Mitchell, and Mitchell is packed in right there at the 33-yard line by Otis Wansley. A 45-yard punt, and that's the thing about Jeff Hayes. He's ranked last in the NFC, Hank, but you never know when he's going to come through with a booming punt as he did from the end zone last week against Dallas.
And he's very good in pressure situations, and that was certainly a pressure situation.
2:24 showing on the clock. Each team has one timeout left.
So you see O'Donohue walking around all by himself. I would make sure somebody would be with him to make sure that you pump him up a little bit, get the hose out, and give him a little pump him up a little bit so he's ready to kick the next time.
Yeah, you want him filled with confidence as well as air when he gets his chance.
That's right. You got to forget about what's happened, but you let him roam around all by himself, that's all he's going to worry about.
At the 33, first down, dumps it off. Otis Anderson at the 40 to the 43, close to a first down. Rich Malott and Vernon Dean make the tackle. The clock runs and the Cardinals line up. O'Donohue would love another chance to redeem himself. 2-minute warning coming up right now. And Lomax will talk things over with Jim Hannafin, and we will take a timeout. Here at Busch Stadium, everything you wanted, they got today, but the Redskins still lead by a point. Here's the lead story. No, we got
When Lotus introduced 1-2-3 software, it rocked the business world. And 1-2-3 is still the #1 selling PC software. But people said,
what will Lotus do for an encore?
Lotus announces Symphony. 1-2-3 and new Symphony software from Lotus. One great idea after another.
The EPA figures say you can get 49 miles out of a gallon of gas. If you aren't getting this kind of mileage from your gasoline, maybe you should change your brand of car. We recommend you try the #1 mileage car, the Honda Civic CRX HF. The right car for your gasoline. Honda.
We've had our 2-minute warning, Hank, and the Cardinals with the ball on their 44. You figure they need to go to the Skins 25 to be in decent field goal range.
Yeah, that's what the Redskins now have to be in a prevent situation, and they have to prevent them from getting in a range where they can kick the field goal.
Lomax has thrown for over 300 today.
It looks like they ought to be able to do some. Oh, they got Marsh out here split out to the outside. He's open.
Lomax going up on top to Tilley, and the ball bounced in front of Tilley. Vernon Dean covering on the play. He slipped.
Had Marsh open on the sideline, too. So was Tilley, but he threw the ball poorly, and he tried to make a diving catch for the ball, but to no avail. No chance.
And, of course, keep in mind that the Cardinals have 4 full downs to get the 10 yards to keep it going. It is 2nd and 10 right now.
They got a lot of time. The other thing I do in here somewhere, I throw a screen or run a draw play to slow down the rush because they're either coming like gangbusters, or maybe move the pocket, roll out a little bit.
They got Manley, Brooks, and McGee, 3 outstanding pass rushers ready to come, along with Monty Coleman. 2nd and 10. Lomax to wide open Roy Green. Green at the 40. First down at the 39-yard line. They're getting closer. The clock continues to run. 1:42 showing. A 17-yard pickup. And now they stop the clock with 1:36. And Roy Green, I think, is shaken up. He is. Clock stops due to injury. Roy Green having a sensational game along with a sensational year. 6 catches, 164 yards, and 2 scores.
Darrell Green is playing him on the line of scrimmage, but he gets away from Green. Green tries to give him a little bump. He breaks inside. Coffey comes over, number 48, but he delivers the ball right on the money quickly. He reads the coverage very, very well. Looks like he might have got a knee in the back.
Darrell Green is over there to check on Roy Green's status. So is Stump Mitchell. Roy Green, who actually caught a touchdown pass and intercepted a pass against the Redskins back in 1981, but he looks to be in tough shape at this point, Hank, and he's going to need help to get off the field.
Well, it's a bad time for the Cardinals to lose him. Really hard to tell what it is.
Crowd gives him a terrific ovation. They weren't disappointed with the Lomax to Green combination we talked about at the top, were they?
No, I don't know how they could be.
But that's the Cardinal concern for the rest of this game and the future. The injury to Roy Green. Jim Hannafin gives him a pack. Danny Pittman will replace Green. And the Cardinals, using the timeout, are out of timeouts. The ball is at the 40-yard line. 1:36 to go. 1st and 10. They need about 15 more yards to get in serious field goal range. 24-23, the Redskins lead the Cardinals. Tilley and Pittman are the receivers now. Tilley in motion. Lomax up top for Tilley, and he overthrows it. 2nd down and 10.
He overthrew that one at that time, but if you're going to make a mistake in this situation, you want to make sure you throw one long and not short. If you throw one short, it could be an interception, but if you're going to be bad, make sure that you're bad long. That's what he did on the last play.
At the Washington 39.
You haven't seen many young quarterbacks who have grown and matured with poise as quick as a 4-year man Lomax.
You're right. Boy, he's really come a long way. Well, it is a long way from Portland, isn't it?
You know, he used to throw touchdown passes to Clint Didier. They went to school together at Portland State.
You're right.
2nd down and 10 at the 39. In motion is Doug Marsh. Pass to Marsh. He goes out of bounds to stop the clock, but they didn't pick up many yards on the play, just a couple. Now they say he didn't go out of bounds, and the clock continues to run. So Lomax has to set this one up in a hurry.
And I would have Chuck Banker, the specialty team coach, talking to O'Donohue. I mentioned that, but there's nobody been around him at all. I think I'd have somebody down there encouraging him as much as I possibly could to make sure he's in a good frame of mind to try to kick this field goal.
If there's any guy who needs to be pumped up, as you said, it's got to be Neil O'Donohue. 3rd down and 8. Keep in mind the Cardinals have 2 downs to get those 8 yards. Clock working against him. Pressure on Lomax. Lomax's pass is caught by Stump Mitchell, and he's out of bounds at the 22-yard line. I really be talking to O'Donohue now, Hank.
You're right. Stump Mitchell goes at the linebacker, number 57, and breaks to the outside and makes the catch. And is finally knocked out of bounds.
41 seconds to go. Keep in mind they have no timeouts remaining, so they can't fool around too much.
Rich Malott was involved in the coverage on the last play, number 57.
First and 10 at the 22-yard line. Lomax, pressure, and he's sacked back at the 29. The third sack of the ball game. Rich Malott stormed in on Lomax. The clock stopped with 38 seconds, and they're going to start it again in a hurry. Second down and 17. 30 seconds now. Lomax fires. Tilly, first down inside the 10-yard line. But they got to hurry up. Curtis Jordan makes the tackle. 22-yard gain.
He's got to line up and throw the ball out of bounds to stop the clock. You can't get the kicking team on the field unless he stops the clock.
They got to hurry.
He's got to throw it out of bounds.
Lomax throws it out of bounds. 5 seconds to go, and it's O'Donohue's chance to redeem himself and win the game. He's 1 for 3, missed the conversion, 5 seconds to go, a 25-yard attempt for Neil O'Donohue, Perrin holding. This is the ball game. Flags first. Pointing, both sides. And apparently it's against the Redskins.
Defense, encroachment.
Well, you can almost say it's going to be like a conversion, but that wouldn't help after what O'Donohue has done in this game, missing one that would have tied the game.
I'm still surprised that I never saw anybody at all give him any encouragement since the last time he kicked.
Hank, should the Redskins call a timeout just to make him even more nervous?
Well, time is already out. They can't call timeout.
Yard attempt. The game on the line. O'Donohue's kick is up. It's good. Didn't he, Hank?
Yeah, he really did. It's a tough thing for the Washington Redskins, but it's a great thing for the young kicker, O'Donohue, because that was really a pressure situation. And after kicking like he has this afternoon, boy, that was a great pressure kick for him, and he came through in good shape.
3 seconds remain, and the St. Louis Cardinals are 3 seconds away from their biggest victory since 1975, when they beat the Redskins and went on to win the NFC East with an 11-3 mark. There's a long way to go to this season, but Neil O'Donohue's field goal has given the Cardinals a 26-24 lead. Jim Hanafin's team was down 21-10 in the third quarter and had to come from way behind. And how many clubs do that against the Redskins?
Yeah, you have to give both teams and both coaches an awful lot of credit. Both teams have played extremely well this afternoon.
O'Donohue will be kicking off, and now the Cardinals want to talk things over.
They'll probably just kick a knuckleball just to keep it on the ground and eliminate the possibility of any kind of a return. That's the thing they should do.
Joe Gibbs said this about Jim Hanifin. He is a survivor. He's gone through the hard times. And it's guys like that you have to really send your heart out to. The two of them still very much good friends.
They really are. It's very obvious that they have a lot of respect for each other.
Here's O'Donohue's kick, as you said, the knuckleball, fielded in a timeout at the 24, called for by Rick Kane with 1 second to go, and the Redskins will get a playoff with that much time remaining.
That was a smart move. Even though you got a second, at least they're trying desperately to do everything they can to get one more chance to get a touchdown and get back in the game.
Joe Gibbs, who I guess expresses concern about every game, was right about this one.
But I say this, I think he seemed to be a lot more tense before the Indianapolis game than he was in one yesterday, because I think that's typical when you're going to play a good team. You don't worry nearly as much as you do when you're playing one that doesn't have a good reputation as being a good team.
A lot of heroes for the Cardinals in this one, Hank.
Now they got to go back in the pocket and throw the ball downfield and hope they can get a tip, a pass interference, some kind of a chance to get back in the game with a field goal opportunity. That's the only. They got three receivers on the left side. They're going to throw it deep and hope for the best.
1 second remaining. Crowd on its feet. Theismann going up on top to a crowd. And the game is over. The Cardinals win it. They've worked together. They're buddies. The St. Louis Cardinals have moved into a tie for first place in the NFC East. Here's the big reception by Pat Dilley, Hank.
Yeah, they were in double coverage, and watch. Bill Green breaks to the outside, leaves room on the inside, and the ball is thrown right behind the linebacker. In good shape, Kaufman, 55, and it's right on the money that puts him in the good field position.
And the reaction.
Watch O'Donohue. But look how quickly he still looks for the ball. It's a short pop.
He knew it.
Yeah, but he's very, very happy, very excited, and everybody else. Denny Perrin right there, 23. They're all excited for him.
Neil O'Donohue, who missed the conversion, and then a field goal, and now watch the reaction of the head coach. O'Donohue's kick.
Watch Jim.
He didn't want to give it away, did he? I've seen better reactions, but you know he's happy right now, Hank.
He's all smiles.
Final score, the Cardinals now in a tie for first place with the Washington Redskins, beating the Redskins and ending their 5-game winning streak, 26-24, the final score. The executive producer of the NFL on CBS is Terry O'Neill. Senior producer Charles H. Milton III. John Faratzis and Andy Kindle produced and directed in superb fashion this afternoon. Ernie Bauer, our associate producer, and Vic Frank, one of our 3 broadcast associates. Thanks to everyone who had a part in this broadcast, including Marty Aronoff, our spotter, and Pat McGrath, our statistician. The St. Louis Cardinals, on an O'Donohue field goal from 21 yards out, gives them a dramatic 26-24 victory. NFL Today postgame show coming up for Hank Stram. Dick Stockton saying so long now from Busch Stadium in St. Louis, where the Cardinals win a big one.
No company can simply deliver a computer and feel it has delivered on the promise of office automation. At Wang, we provide service and support along with our computers so that the people who use them will always be able to perform to their fullest potential. Wang, we put people in front of computers.
You're off to a driving start. Big A. The first letter in auto parts. We got it. A store with the parts you need. A man who knows the way. Big A. The first letter in auto parts is all you need to say.
Good job. Yeah, we've got all the parts you need because we're the first letter in auto parts.
Big A, Big A, Big A. America's driving over. America's driving to Firestone.
Firestone's Drive Over Sale. Save up to 30% on tires, Mastercare service, batteries. Save on every size 721 steel-belted radial from only $29.95. Plus, save on Mastercare awarded service, tune-ups, shocks, batteries, and more. Firestone's Drive Over Sale at Firestone now.
Firestone.
Hey, Harry Gant, what's it like driving the Skull Bandit?
It ain't easy. Even in practice.
What's it like using Skull Bandits?
That's real easy.
Skull Bandits is tobacco in a neat little pouch. You don't chew it. Just put one between your cheek and gum and enjoy the refreshing taste. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing.
It's that easy.
Try Skull Bandits. We think you'll agree. It's a little pouch of pleasure.
One of the exciting games of this National Football League season. The Cardinals beat the Redskins 26-24. It's been a long time, Hank Stram, since the Cardinals defeated Washington. We talked about that 75 season, but they're going to be dancing in the streets in St. Louis tonight.
Yeah, they can forget about 1975 and be very, very happy about what happened here this afternoon. It was a great, great effort. And again, as I mentioned earlier, I was very, very surprised that they could play as well as they played defensively. That was the key to the success of the ball game. Plus the fact, of course, it gets right down to a kick, and O'Donohue finally made the kick that had to be made to win the game.
E.J. Jr., terrific on defense. A lot of the people up front who hadn't gotten the sacks really stuffed a lot of the running game that the Redskins had today.
Well, you have to single out Galloway, who was very outstanding. Plus the fact that I think Bubba Baker is playing as well as he's ever played, especially against the run.
Lomax, over 300 yards, 3 touchdown passes, and he didn't disappoint. He went to Roy Green. Teams try to stop Roy Green, but he continues to play good ball. We hope his injury isn't serious.
And I thought he sprayed the ball around a lot better as the game progressed. He got the ball to Marsh a couple of times, and plus the fact that he got the ball to Tilley in a critical situation to put the ball in field goal range.
Well, when the Cardinals needed it, they got into that field goal range. And, of course, O'Donohue, you wonder what's got to be going through the mind of a guy like that who's booed, who missed the big kick, the field goal, the point after, and then had it when they needed it at the end. That's guts.
One thing you have to say about that situation, that's what you call mental toughness. You have to be tough enough to be in that situation and make it happen, and he did.
So that's the story here in St. Louis. We know we have at least 2 teams tied for first place in the NFC East. O'Donohue's winning field goal puts the Cardinals in there, and we'll see what Dallas or the Giants or the Eagles do. So for Hank Stram, Dick Stockton saying so long from Busch Stadium in St. Louis, Missouri. The final score, the Cardinals 26, the Redskins 24. You've been watching CBS Sports coverage of the NFL.